Marine and
the manly side.
Yeah, sharpshooter in the military, whatever badge you get for being a marksman.
Gets his hands dirty every day too, right? Pulling that cable.
And also great fisherman, outdoors guy.
Yeah.
His birthday today. My parents thought he was going to be a girl, and they always told me, I was only 5 at the time, but they always told me Freedom Honda Dunaway is what they were going to name. They were into motorcycles at the time and living a hippie lifestyle. Freedom Honda, and her name was something. Freedom something.
Freedom Rider, right?
Freedom Rider.
So you were going to be Freedom Honda. What were they going to call her?
Not me. My
your brother. If it's a girl,
Honda.
what were they going to call her? Freedom?
I guess.
Frida?
Boy, she wouldn't have had a rough upbringing at all, right?
Yes, Freedom Honda.
Yeah, I just
a lot of jokes about riding a Honda, Jeff.
I really hope they were joking, but they were into motorcycles then. Freedom Rider, though, made me think of that.
Freedom Rider?
What was intended as a fundraising mission has become a nightmare for American teen influencer Ethan Guo. Now, he's been stuck in a remote location in the Chilean territory in Antarctica since June. It's actually kind of a funny story. Last year, Guo began a journey to become the youngest person to fly solo to all 7 continents. Wow. Now, the trip also aimed to raise, this is the good part of it, $1 million for childhood cancer research through St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital.
Oh, I like this.
Now, Guo flew a Cessna 182Q to North America, South America, Asia, Africa, Australia, and Europe before heading to Antarctica. Now, prosecutors said he was authorized to fly to the Chilean city of Punta Arenas, which is often used as a base for excursions to Antarctica. Authorities said Guo provided, quote, false flight plan data and traveled to King George Island. Guo's flight plan only included his landing in Punta Arenas. Authorities said Chile claimed ownership of the island, which is about 75 miles off the coast of Antarctica. Guo was detained at the airport on King George Island on June 29th. He was charged with handing false information to ground control and landing without authorization, both breaches of the Chilean Aeronautical Code. You don't ever want to breach that.
Yeah. They didn't give him a go-over?
They did not. Now, the code calls for short-term imprisonment or a fine for anyone who lands on the country's territory without authorization. Chilean prosecutor Christian Critoso said that Guo violated, quote, multiple national and international rules since being
chilly
charged.
reception for him, Joe.
He has stayed at a military base on the island. He was not forced to stay there, only to remain in Chilean territory, but because of the severe weather in winter in the part of the southern hemisphere, there haven't been any flights he could take.
So he's stuck?
He is stuck. He was also able to fly his Cessna. They told reporters on Monday that Guo's plane does not, quote, have the capabilities to make a flight.
Chile is a weird country, but I hear it's beautiful. Like, I would love to go see Chile. We've got a friend who's got family from there. I think her parents are Chilean, aren't they?
Long coastline.
Very long coastline. It's a very long north to south narrow country.
Very mountainous.
So it's mountainous in places and warmer. I mean, I don't know. It's a very, very, very unique nation.
And apparently goes, much like Vestavia, it meanders its way all the way into another continent.
Well, I think that's where the Alive plane crash happened, right?
The soccer team?
And then they did the Secret Society or Snow Society or whatever. Yeah. Good movie, and better than Alive.
And don't forget they had the miners that got stuck down there, and that one old boy had 2 wives, and both of them showed up. You remember?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and he was like,
I'm going to go back in.
I tell you, I'm going to stay down here. Not so bad.
Boy, if you guys have pictures of this next one, I assume you do. Look at this. This is known as the Frankenstein rabbit. U.S. citizens are being warned, don't touch the Frankenstein rabbit as they invade parks. An alarming virus is transforming ordinary rabbits across the U.S. into creatures sporting black tentacle-like growths that sprout from their faces.
Oh, that's nasty.
Now, looking like they've escaped from HBO's The Last of Us or Netflix's Stranger Things, more and more sightings of the mutated rabbits are being recorded in Fort Collins, Colorado. Now, unfortunately, this nightmare scenario is entirely real. These ordinary rabbits have become infected with the cottontail papillomavirus, CRPV, which causes benign but disturbing tumors to grow on the animals' heads. Reports of these mutated creatures date back to 2024 when a Colorado resident posted photos online showing a rabbit whose entire head was covered in these black spike-like protrusions. They thought it was going to go away. They've come back even more, and they are warning people that these could be disease spreading.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Rhoback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Rhoback.com, promo code TNR20.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President. The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, welcome in. It is a Friday edition of the Next Round. He's Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. Dunaway off, unfortunately, attending a funeral. A friend, father of a friend of his passed away, so Jim will be back with us on Monday. Tim Melton on the keys. Tyler Johns making us look good. Scott Forrester moving his daughter into college. What a skeleton crew here today.
It really is. It feels like I used to love it the old radio days when we would work on like a Black Friday.
And nobody there, yeah.
Absolutely nobody there. And it's kind of peaceful.
The best day to work.
Yeah.
You liked it?
I loved it.
We used to do we did Labor Day too, Melton, and that wasn't too bad either. Labor Day, there was nobody there, no traffic going in. I hadn't had a Labor Day off in 30 years. Probably.
Yeah, and we'll be here Labor Day this year, and we will be the only people in the building, and I will guarantee it will be 90 degrees in
That's
here.
right, unless we get ahead of the game and make sure they turn that AC on for us. They frequently forget.
I always loved the story of when you guys were building out the place there right before it launched and how hot it was that weekend beforehand.
So what we did not know about this building until we had already signed the lease and found the spot, and the clock was ticking, so we really had to go with this is a great setup for us. But what we did not know is that they turned the AC off Sunday, like afternoon, is it? After 12 on Sunday, I think it is.
Oh, I no.
Or is it all day Sunday?
I think they cut it off at Friday at 5 o'clock.
Oof, I thought they had it on Saturdays. I could be wrong. Anyway, there's a period of the weekend where the AC does not run in this building because nobody's here. 90% of the time, that doesn't matter, right? We come up here on the Sunday. Our anniversary is coming up tomorrow, in fact. How about that? August 16th, right? That was show one, August 16th, 2021. So this day back in 2021 is the only run-through we ever had on our equipment, ever. We did a 1-hour mystery fifth hour. And it might have been 8,000 degrees up here. So much so, one of the computers to Melton's left continued shutting down. It got so hot.
Yeah, I don't think we realized that we needed the fans that we needed back there.
That's right. Yeah, we had to adjust that quickly. Like we were at Target buying box fans.
We've both hosted meltdowns, so
that is true. That is a good point. Yeah, I mean, I remember sitting in this very chair, drenched in sweat. It was so hot up here.
Now, in the winter, it's about 30 degrees in the studio.
That's right,
because they cut the heat off on Fridays.
On Fridays,
yeah.
But, in the middle of the summer when the show is actually going, frequently you'll see us up here in hoodies or sweatshirts or long sleeves, and it'll be 1,000 degrees outside. It can get frigid in this studio and often does.
And in the winter, we'll be in shorts
and
T-shirts.
You just never know.
Because
sometimes,
they're cranking up the heat to 100 degrees. So climate's always been
a
little bit of a coin flip.
Yeah, when you're in one of these buildings where a lot of people have offices, you just never know, right? Yeah. And there's no windows in this studio. So a lot of times, like all of our outside offices here have windows. So when the sun's shining, it's nice in those offices because the AC and the sun balance out. No sun in here. That same AC is running in here, and we got no sun to balance it out. It can get frigid in here.
The Oklahoma Sooners have given me an idea here.
What are you going to,
we should charge like $350 for people to come in and watch the show live. I think that would be a big hit.
I think it would be more entertaining than the Oklahoma press conference.
I would agree completely. Yeah. I don't know what they're feeding and drinking, or feeding them and giving them for drink here. We've got drinks.
Yeah, when you did that story, have you heard there's any demand?
I've not. It was up on, I'll see if I can find it on their ticket site. It was up on their ticket site for It's going to take me a
I
minute.
mean, I could see, back to USC last year, you had the Penn State fan that actually bought the USC package to lead them out of the tunnel.
That was one of the more embarrassing moments in your favorite team's history.
I could see a fan want to do that with their team maybe, but I cannot see the press conference at all.
Yeah. It is super boring. I don't think you'd like it. This may take a minute. I'm in football tickets here for Oklahoma. I'm seeing if it's just listed among their tickets. No, this is just games. It's like it was some sort of like special, but you could buy a ticket for it. The Michigan game sold out, by the way. If you were trying to go to that.
The presser?
Yeah, no, the Michigan game, the actual Oklahoma.
I
would
believe
hope
that,
you would
yeah.
sell that one out. I'm just seeing if they're going to charge $350 for a press conference for the Michigan game. I can get. Let's just do 2 tickets together. I can get that for $375 a ticket.
I think I would rather go to the game than the press conference. I'm a massive Rams fan, and if you were like, you can pay to go to Sean McVay's press conference, I'd take a hard pass. Now, if I was in L.A. at the game and they were like, hey, do you want free access? I might check that out.
Maybe so. All right, best ticket I can find on the secondary market is a 42-yard line ticket. It's row 2. That's too low for me personally, but that's $858 a ticket.
Wow.
That's Oklahoma, Michigan. I'm going to get a little bit higher up, but okay, here we go. Higher up on the 50s. This is a good seat. $632. I mean, this is on the 50. I'm on row 57. $632.
I do wonder the logistics of actually getting to where the press conference is being held and like how that's going to work with fans and stuff.
Sometimes for members of the media it's hard, but I don't know. Such a weird story yesterday.
What do you think the 50-yard line good ticket for LSU Clemson is?
At Clemson, night game, and Clemson does not get a lot of exciting home games with that ACC schedule, right? So, if LSU's coming to an SEC stadium, you're like, yeah, I see these types of games all the time. Clemson doesn't get these types of games all the time. I would say 50-yard line seats, $750 a ticket.
This is around the 45 lower level F, row S, 2 tickets, $1,002 each.
I mean, that's steep.
That is steep for a college football game.
But again, if you're a Clemson fan outside of South Carolina, how many home games do you ever get excited about?
Not a lot. And
Notre Dame comes every so often.
Worst seat in the house right now, $313. Most expensive ticket, $2,936.
Yeah.
I don't know where that one is. I would assume it's in a suite somewhere.
Yeah, I would think so. So I don't know, Tim. I don't know how this is going to work out.
I do like the idea of going through all the different traditions and trying to figure out how you can pimp those out for a certain amount of dollars and get fans involved and, running down the hill with Dabo or something.
Yeah. Oh, that is a good one.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
What
Free
if
money.
what if you paid to run down the hill with Dabo? Now somebody's going to blow out an ACL.
I wonder if you could get a paintball gun and you got to take shots at him running down the hill.
I love this. I love this idea.
$100 a shot.
Yeah, that's
take as many as you want.
So that's the opposing fan base. They get to do that. Look, they're going to get involved. Let's let them. Let's at least make some money off.
You got a deviant like me aiming for his eyes.
That is a.
That's
actually a good idea. Somebody running down the hill. I mean, I don't know what you'd have to pay for that. I mean, you are selling out. Say what you want about Dabo doing it. It is one of the great traditions of college football.
The problem is Dabo wants to be the first down the hill, and if you had some guy that comes in and wants to leg it out, and beat Dabo down the hill, Dabo's going to be upset.
Seriously, I wonder if you could sell spots behind the team. Team gets to run down the hill, but then there's 20 fans that get to run down behind the team. You could probably sell that.
Oh, you probably could, yeah.
And then, I mean, the TV cameras have cut away by then. Nobody's paying attention to it.
It's open season when it comes up, coming up with these ideas.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you noticed these schools need money.
Exactly.
So they're going to find ways to make it.
I mean, what would people pay for a sideline pass? I mean, we've been on the sidelines before.
Yeah. I personally think it's a bad place to watch a game.
I agree.
Yep.
But I've seen many great plays. Like, I was on the sideline for kick 6. I was on the sideline for 2nd and 26. I was on the sideline for Gravedigger. I was on the sideline for the prayer journey. I've been on the sideline for a lot of amazing plays. And guess what? I had a bad vantage point for just about all of them.
I bet
I had
Melton,
to go back and watch them.
At 6'9", probably does not have the same sort of problems that you and I have.
Oh, that's true. You can see better.
As long as there's nobody behind me that's angry. I mean, I'm always getting things thrown at me at concerts and stuff like that.
I got flipped off on 280 today. I don't even know what I did. Yeah.
Wow. Don't even know what I did. I don't even know what I
Chick
did.
pulled up in their Subaru Outback and just flicked me
hammered
off.
one at you.
I was like, wow, okay.
Wow.
Oh, man.
No idea what I did.
From the chat room, speaking of money, Michigan Manifesto says the Michigan report will be released at noon Eastern, so 11 Central, today per Nicole Auerbach. The report from Matt Fortuna of The Athletic, Lance. I mentioned yesterday that Penn State was fined $60 million by the NCAA. Apparently, they separate that fine from an infractions fine. I don't know what the difference is.
But I think that was one of those just completely awful, weird situations where Penn State was like,
yeah, we'll pay it.
Yeah.
We're not going to argue that one. According to Matt Fortuna, the highest fine was $38 million for Tennessee. I personally did not remember Tennessee getting that big of a fine.
was that the Jeremy Pruitt?
I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I don't
isn't
remember
it?
that either.
$38 million. He is reporting that Michigan will be fined more than that. That the Michigan fine will exceed, this is for the sign stealing, this will exceed $38 million.
If you believe, though, that was the difference in winning a national championship and not,
would you pay it?
I think it's probably worth it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I would say so. So $38 million is the number to beat, and Matt Fortuna is reporting that is the number. It will exceed that number for Michigan today, and we'll see if it comes with any other suspension for Sharon Moore. We were just talking about that Michigan-Oklahoma game. I think it's at least on the table that Sharon Moore is not your head coach for that game. I don't know who their interim will be, if they'll go Wink Martindale or if they'll let an offensive coach do it. I do not know, but I would say it's a fairly – the odds would be in the favor of him not coaching that game, I would think.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
And I don't know how that impacts
Because I thought that they were going to try to stagger this and let him coach that game, but now the more you hear, probably not going to happen.
Listen, if I'm an Oklahoma fan, I want him coaching the game because I saw how they galvanized around him when Harbaugh was off.
And that was 4 games, wasn't it?
That was 4 games, including one at Penn State. I don't know if you remember that one. I mean, that was a huge
was that the
game
one where
at
you
Penn
got
State.
so emotional afterwards?
Yeah, it was like Jim Harbaugh had died. That was massive. So if I'm an Oklahoma fan, I don't want any part of like let's go win one for Coach Moore. I want him coaching. But
I think Oklahoma wins that game.
Do you now?
I do.
Interesting.
Evenly matched. I just say at home.
Huge win for Brent Venables. Well, there's just so much unknown. I haven't seen Mateer yet. You're big on Mateer.
Yep.
But then is Bryce Underwood making his first road start in an atmosphere like that? That's going to be a pretty crazy atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I think those are
major factors.
Those are the major factors. Ball fan says, make Biff Poggi the interim, cut off sleeves and all. The former Charlotte coach that's now up there with Sharon Moore. We'll see. All right, as we get the show going, SleepHomeAlabama.com is one of the greatest sponsor websites we've ever heard. SleepHomeAlabama.com with our friends at CPAP
And that's
Plus.
what it's all about. Great sleep. $199 home sleep test. You can get the information right there at sleephomealabama.com. CPAP Plus, the O'Neill brothers, great guys. 5 locations, Birmingham, Trussville, Pelham, Foley, Troy, Alabama's best home sleep testing and CPAP. No lab, just easy-to-wear fingertip devices, clinically validated that connect to your smartphone, complete with a physician's interpretation for your results. In-lab tests cost over thousands of dollars, and with deductibles, you're more than likely to have to pay out of pocket anyway. No insurance, no labs, no delay. They can test you today. For more information on this $199 home sleep test from CPAP Plus, go to sleephomealabama.com.
And if you're looking for a club home in Birmingham, Inverness Country Club is a great spot for you. ICCalabama.com. To find everything I'm talking about here, ICCalabama.com, or call Aaron to set up a tour, 205-991-8608. They've got memberships to fit everyone. A social membership includes a resort-style pool, the full-service cabana and bar, the sports membership, tennis and pickleball, the golf membership, the 18-hole course, the newly expanded practice facility there. It's all at your fingertips at Inverness Country Club. Find your sense of community at Inverness. And the best days happen at Inverness Country Club. See more, ICCalabama.com, ICCalabama.com. We are being asked if we're going to announce our fall guest schedule. Absolutely. We'll do that next week. We're still working on our NIL deals, trying to find all those, finish those up. If we can get finish up what we're working on, I think you'll be very pleased with that. More on Auburn football practice in just a moment because Hugh Freeze showed some fire at Auburn football practice yesterday. But we also get asked a lot about our kickoff party. That is Walk-Ons Highway 280 on the 28th, 5 o'clock until.
Yep, presented by Alexander Shinara. It's going to be Tattersall Park, 5 o'clock until Bud Light, very involved. We're going to have great drink specials. We'll have some giveaways. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, so that
fifth annual, too.
Fifth annual. That is the first Thursday night. This is the first time we've done this, the first Thursday night of college football. So we'll have the games on the screens there. During most of the party, you'll be able to watch Boise take on South Florida, but that Cincinnati-Nebraska game will start at the end of the party there, so we'll watch some of that as well, 5 o'clock until. And that is the fifth annual kickoff party presented by Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. All right. Do Auburn fans want to see this type of fire out of Hugh Freeze? Tyler, if you will, hit the video. Dunaway tweeted this out, and his tweet says of Hugh Freeze, "This is the best PR moment for Hugh Freeze all camp." Now, it's kind of small. The video is from a distance, so you got to squint. But Hugh Freeze comes in fired up at Jackson Arnold, fires the visor to the ground, chewing out his quarterback. Hugh kind of laughed it off after practice, but clearly frustrated with his starting quarterback, Jackson Arnold.
So what time was this? Any idea?
Sometime, I think, yesterday morning. I think Auburn practices in the morning.
So I was going to say he wasn't sitting back listening to us and Dusty Dvorak saying. I mean, I did find it really interesting when he talked about the conversation that him, Chris Childers, and Rick Neuheisel had with Hugh Freeze when he was like, DJ Durkin, do not make our quarterback look bad.
Yeah, and Freeze said the same thing to us. It got overshadowed in our interview with him out at Regions of the Coca-Cola Conversations.
Because of the 6-6.
Because of the bowl game thing, get bowl eligible. That overshadowed everything else he said in that interview. But he said the same thing. He's like, I want my quarterback leaving practice happy every day. And I've talked to DJ Durkin about that. And we even joked with him, DJ Durkin's in the defensive room saying the exact opposite thing, right?
Right.
So he had already said that to us. That's twice he said that, if not more, right? And you're right. Dusty was like, I've never heard that in my life.
So I was just wondering, and I'm kind of joking, not that Hugh sits back in his plush office and listens to the next round, but it was interesting that we're going to protect the quarterback. We're going to make sure Jackson Arnold's got all of this confidence, and then the next thing you know, he's basically showing him up in practice.
Yeah, I mean, it was a open media session.
But I do like to see that emotion, and I think Auburn fans do,
that was
too.
the question.
Yeah.
So Auburn fans want to see that fire out of Hugh Freeze, you
Yep.
think? But the other side of that is the fire is directed at the starting quarterback that they've never seen playing in an Auburn uniform. So that also is a little bit concerning, right?
Well, I think even more concerning is going back to what Dusty said yesterday, because he's been around that program, and I'm talking about Oklahoma last year with Jackson Arnold, and how fragile he thinks this guy's confidence is. Like, that's not what you want from your starting quarterback.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, let's just say he goes out in Waco, throws 2 picks, they lose to Baylor. I mean,
it's going to be 5-alarm fire.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what is weird about this Baylor game is, it's Baylor. It's not like they're playing Georgia or Alabama or LSU or somebody like that. This is Baylor. And that's no insult to Baylor. I'm just saying Auburn versus Baylor normally doesn't register on the Richter scale, right? That's number two, it's on the road. So it's a difficult place, anytime you're going on the road in a Power 5, there's some challenges there, right? Maybe Baylor is not going to Death Valley, but it's going to be a tough place for them to play. Number three, I mean, it's a tight point spread. It's not like Auburn is supposed to win this game. Like, Auburn's the favorite, but you wouldn't say they're such a big favorite. You're like, they're supposed to win this game. I mean, it's pretty close.
Oh, I mean, right now, I'm just pulling current line. I think Auburn's 2.5.
2.5 is where I've seen them at mybookie.ag for quite a while now. I know FanDuel had Baylor favored for a minute.
-2.
Yeah.
And it looks like 60% of the money is on Auburn right now.
But, I mean, that's not where you would like, Auburn was supposed to win that game. That's pretty close to a toss-up, right? So you see my point there is that, but everybody's like, boy, if Auburn loses this game, it's going to be 5-alarm fire. 5-alarm fire if Auburn loses this game. And I just said it myself, and I'm like, yeah, but everything else tells you this is a really tight coin flip game.
Yeah, but if Auburn was to lose that game, 5-alarm fire, according to you, what is it if Alabama loses in Tallahassee?
Well, I don't think we have a state left at that point. It's a 49-state union. Good news for Puerto Rico. State 50 is open. You could be it.
Let's just go on and say no show on Monday if both Alabama and Auburn lose opening weekend.
No show.
Hey, when is the last
we do
time?
An 8-hour show.
Has that ever happened? Have Alabama and Auburn both ever lost on opening weekend? I mean, normally it's such a layup game. Now, it hasn't been when Nick Saban took over and did those neutral site games. They ended up being layup games.
First of all, when's the last time Alabama even lost on opening weekend? Help me remember Alabama's last opening weekend loss.
Gene Stallings. I mean, was it 1990?
No, it's got to be since then, right? UCLA, Mike DeBose.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Is that the last one? That wasn't the last one, was it?
I mean, that would have been 26 years ago.
I mean, Saban never had an opening weekend loss that I can remember. I mean, I'm not missing one, am I?
This is what Google says.
Okay, tell me.
The last time both Alabama and Auburn lost their opening weekend football game was in 1944. Both teams lost their first game of the season, with Alabama falling to Georgia Tech and Auburn losing to Florida.
Well, that's better opponents than I would have thought. When you said 1944, I thought one of them was going to have lost to Swanee or something like that.
Tight schedules back then. I mean, what did they play, 8 games?
Yeah, that was a good opening weekend. Bama lost to who, and Auburn lost to Florida, and Bama lost to who? Georgia Tech?
Alabama lost to Georgia Tech 19-7. Auburn, they lost to Florida 19-13.
Wow. That's a good opening weekend. So, Bama's got Georgia Tech. Auburn's got
that's
Florida.
Probably why you couldn't remember it.
Probably, yeah. I could not remember that. That's, I think 2000 in the Rose Bowl is Alabama's last opening weekend loss. Auburn has had one since then, but I guess at the same time, 1944. So to answer your question, Lance, we don't see that a lot. So I don't know what the reaction would be. I mean, the Alabama-Florida State loss would be far more stunning than this. The thing with this whole Jackson Arnold, and look, this is one piece of video that people that went crazy on the internet last night because it's Hugh Freeze throwing his visor. And we have seen that type of emotion out of Hugh Freeze before, but he's not necessarily known for that type of emotion. But it's magnified, Lance, by the fact that the rumors, at least, if not reports from Auburn camp, is Jackson Arnold hasn't had a great camp. Now, it should be noted that no coach has really come out and said that I have seen publicly. It should be noted that the media is not there for all of practice. So
it also should be noted that you never hear, hey, this quarterback, or you seldom hear, this quarterback has had a great camp.
Right.
I mean, would you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean,
you hear the negative a lot more than the positive.
You do. Rarely does a coach want to come out and say, look, because why is that, Lance? Because then your defense looks bad, right? If I say, boy, my quarterback.
Of course, I say that, and Ryan Grubb came out and said, hey, our quarterbacks have only thrown 4 interceptions.
Yeah, after Kalen DeBoer said 3. So both the head coach and the offensive coordinator have said that the quarterback play in Alabama's camp has been really, really good in a roundabout way, right? So, I mean, that's – this piece of video by itself, not a big deal. This piece of video when Auburn fans are already concerned and when the reports reports/rumors are that Jackson Arnold has struggled in this camp. Now, you know where I stand. You and Dunaway have been higher on Jackson Arnold than me. And I'm not saying he's going to be bad, but I am not willing to say that everything at Oklahoma last year was because his offensive line sucked and his receivers were hurt. I'm just not 100% sold on Jackson Arnold right now. And it's got nothing to do with the rumors of practice. It's got nothing to do with Hugh Freeze throwing his visor. If you've watched the show, you know I've said this. I'm not just willing to say, oh, Jackson Arnold's going to get in here behind a better offensive line, which Auburn has, with better receivers, which Auburn has, and just all of a sudden be an all-SEC caliber quarterback. Can he be middle of the pack? Yeah, and that's by the way, a vast improvement from where he was last year, and it's an improvement from where Auburn's quarterback play was last year if he's just middle of the pack.
Well, he only turned the ball over 3 times last year. But again, you have a Javonte Barnes led them in rushing with only 577 total yards. Your leading receiver was Bear Sharp, a tight end with 324 yards. How is that possible?
I know. Well, all their receivers were hurt, and I understand that. But that's pretty crazy that's actually your leading receiver.
324 yards. Again, 50 sacks. They gave up.
Yeah.
You just didn't have a fair shake. Now, I don't know. I mean, you assume Gatorade Player of the Year, he's going to be good, but
I've seen Gatorade Players of the Year not be good.
Very incomplete right now.
If I gave him Brady Cook's season last year, would you? No, that's not good enough. I'm trying to find a season I could give him that you would say
you
is
take
good
the win-loss for Brady Cook.
Well, you certainly would, yeah. I mean, Peyton Thorne's season last year, in hindsight, Auburn fans destroyed Peyton Thorne a lot, as a lot of fans did. But in hindsight, here's Peyton Thorne's season last year. 62.8 completion percentage. Would you take that for Jackson Arnold?
Yeah, it needs to be a little higher.
Okay. 2,700 pass yards. That's 246 a game, so 250 a game. Okay. Would you take that?
Yeah.
Okay. 21 touchdowns. The touch low.
Okay, yeah.
But he's going to give you some on the ground, too, though, that you didn't get from Peyton Thorne probably. I don't know how many rushing touchdowns Payton Thorne had. Nine interceptions. Would you take that?
I think you more what Garrett Nussmeier did last year.
All right. Payton Thorne, by the way, 2 rushing touchdowns. So Arnold's going to give you more than 2 rushing touchdowns.
Nussmeier, 4,000 yards, which is a lot. 64% completion.
Of course I want this.
29 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
That's
though.
a lot of interceptions.
But that offensive line only gave up 16 sacks the entire year.
Yeah, and that is a huge factor in that. That's something Jackson Arnold didn't have at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But obviously, when you see a coach throwing his visor, and it's the quarterback, and it's a first-year quarterback, and it's a quarterback that reportedly has had some struggles in camp, that's going to get a lot of attention. I don't think anybody is surprised by that. Blame My Believer says Ty Simpson's a Gatorade Player of the Year. I mean, you just said that about Jackson Arnold.
Yeah. I mean, normally I think those guys work out, at least at the collegiate level.
Keelan Russell's a Gatorade Player of the Year, too.
How do you have so many Gatorade players?
I don't know.
I guess you could be the Gatorade Player of the Year in your state.
Yeah.
But I thought Jackson Arnold was the national Gatorade Player of the Year.
And so was Keelan Russell. I can't independently verify that Ty Simpson was.
I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, tell me right now while I tell everybody about our friends at Bojangles. I do know Keelan Russell was the national and Jackson Arnold was the national because I remember thinking that'd actually be cool if they played once in an Iron Bowl and you had Gatorade Players of the Year meeting nationally in an Iron Bowl. All right, our friends at Bojangles want you to know it could be bow time for you when it comes time for lunch. Nothing goes better with your lunch, those hand-breaded chicken tenders, than great salsas. You can get them right there at Bojangles. If you're looking for sweet, try honey mustard. If you want to add some tang, try barbecue. If you want some heat, try creamy buffalo or peach honey pepper. If you're craving smooth and creamy, the house-made ranch, jalapeno ranch, or classic Bo sauce, ready and waiting. So head to Bojangles, order some of those hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce today, and don't forget them. When it comes time for football season, the tailgates at your high school or college games or the parties at your house, you can get Bojangles for those. It's bow time.
Okay, I'm working on this. Too much quality from Gatorade.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's every sport.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. So I am. Keelan Russell was the national.
He was the national. I know he and Jackson Arnold definitely were national players of the year in football.
Yeah.
I don't remember Ty Simpson being a Gatorade National Player of the Year. Maybe he was in the state of Tennessee.
It does have state by state.
Yeah,
as
he
well.
said, Lame I Believer clears up, says he was the Gatorade Tennessee Player of the Year. So there you go. All right. I didn't think it was national. I just wanted to clear that up. Dr. B helping you grow your hair back there, Lance, and me as well.
Yeah, Dr. B, best in the business. If you start thinning out, it doesn't matter if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whenever that time is. Make the call to Dr. Beckenstein, that great staff, 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net. T3's got that new test. It's easy, painless, affordable. Takes seconds to perform. It's going to show which medicines and compounds will specifically work for your hair loss. There are over 10 categories of agents they use, knowing they will work for you. They will custom compound these agents in pill or topical forms. You pick and choose which agents you want. Men and women ordering Hims, other products online, don't even know if they work. Stop wasting your money and critical time while you're losing hair on treatments that aren't working for you. Go see Dr. B and find out what will work for you. 205-319-0316 or T3hair.net.
All right, when we come back, are you willing to help Mississippi State football?
Of course.
Okay, Lance is in a giving mood today.
What have I ever done to Mississippi State football?
Nothing. He's going to
I
help.
just speak truth, man.
Mississippi State football held their old state. We're going to try to help Mississippi State football when we come back. Todd Fuhrman coming up. If you're listening to us live in about half an hour, we'll talk with Fuhrman and get the numbers from the desert. This is The Next Round, presented by Bud Light from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Hey friends, if you're looking to expand your business and inform the Next Round audience about your exciting brand, contact us at sales@nextroundlive.com to be part of the team and advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential consumers on our ever-expanding platform. Let the Next Round help take your business to the next level. Get more information by emailing us at sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level with the Next Round.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the UAB Medicine GT World Alabama Benefiting Teal Wings of Hope, September 5th through 7th. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, and Ferrari battle it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, food trucks, kids zone, garage, and more. The UAB Medicine GT World Alabama. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
All right, for our friends in Starkville, we're gonna help your football program in a moment. They're already doing what I'm gonna suggest they do, but it might not be permanent. And listen, I get that Mississippi State fans, they get to choose their own path. I'm just going to give my advice. You can choose to ignore it. Most people do.
I did talk to a Mississippi State fan the other day, and he said, man, I'm to the point now, I think we just spend our money on baseball.
You don't really get a return on investment on that one.
I think that, some fan bases are just resigned to the fact that, hey, if I'm good in one sport, I'll take it.
I mean, again, and they can be really good in baseball. We have seen that. This is probably the best season ticket package in all of college football.
I don't know how it could be better.
I mean, you get Arizona State, Tennessee, Texas, Georgia, and Ole Miss at your place.
What is the bad game?
Alcorn State.
Yeah.
That's it, because they play Southern Miss on the road.
God, can you imagine if you're splitting season tickets? I mean, how does
the arm wrestle for Alcorn State?
Yeah, how does that happen?
I don't know. Well, let's see. So Georgia and Texas, if you're splitting them, one gets Georgia, one gets Texas. Those are the A's. Your B's would be, well, I don't know. Here's the way you would do it. You do snake draft. All right, let's do snake draft. Let's say you're a State fan, I'm a State fan. Let's snake draft.
Okay, hold on 1 sec.
Yeah.
Okay, I will give you the first pick.
Okay, I'm going to take Texas. I've not seen Texas come to our place in a very long time. Saturday, October 25th.
Yeah.
So you get the next two picks.
I don't know if I want to see Georgia. Absolutely. I will take Georgia, and I will take the Egg Bowl.
All right. See, that's what I wondered.
Yep.
Then I take. See, now here's my trouble. I think we can beat Arizona State.
I think we can beat Tennessee.
Okay. Well, I want to see us win a conference game. I'll take Tennessee, and you would take Arizona State.
I would take Arizona State.
Now, I wondered if Ole Miss I mean, that's got to be your third pick. That's interesting. That's your third pick.
Oh, you got Northern Illinois too.
Where did I miss? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then.
Crap game.
Yeah. One of us has to take Alcorn. One of us has to take Northern Illinois.
I didn't see the meltdown from the Northern Illinois coach on NIL. Did you see it?
I think it got overplayed a little bit. Honestly, I saw it. We didn't. I don't think Jim had seen it too. I think he chose not to put it in the show. It was just kind of. I think it's overplayed. I frankly.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up, but because we brought up Northern Illinois, I was just wondering if you've seen it.
Just me. I'm a little tired of every coach having a take on NIL. It kind of washes over me at this point. So even if he's fiery and hits the podium a little bit, it's not going to get my attention at time. All right. Aside from State's schedule, we're going to help them down the road a minute, but Lance is going to tell you about Odie's first.
Odie's Tavern, great place to knock off work a little early on a Friday, sit out on one of those patios, enjoy ice-cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Of course, tomorrow night I will be right outside of Odie's, the original location in Crestline, for the Bowling and Bragging tailgate event that we do every single year, benefiting the Children's Hospital. Make sure you join us out there tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. But again, Odie's all weekend, both locations, the original Crestline, newest location in Edgewood, live music at both tonight and tomorrow night. Incredible food from Rodney Davis. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff. Birmingham Institution, it's Odie's Tavern.
Do you remember, well, let me ask a question this way. Do you remember where you were?
Yes.
For Y2K?
Yes. Chico's house.
You were at Chico's house.
Yep.
Now, did you... I thought Melton was
very random. I just remember we had a pretty good crowd over there. I'll tell you who was there and why this. It was just such a weird, eclectic mix of people. The Dubba twins were there.
Now you have my attention.
Yeah.
That was in 1999.
That was a long time ago, yeah.
I've seen one of them recently. The other one I don't think I've seen since we used to do a TV show with them.
I saw both at Alabama LSU tailgate. The Jaden Daniels game. So what was that, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Lance and I used to do TV shoots with them. Lance and I used to do some TV work for WTTO. All right, I need to explain to some of the audience here. The Dubba twins were
Jennifer and Shelley.
Jennifer and Shelley, two fantastic girls. And they were local girls, twins. And
so AB was dating one of them, and I forgot. I think it was Jennifer, and that was how they ended up there. Yeah,
yeah. So they were the faces of WTTO.
Melton, you remember them, right?
Twins. You remember Melton?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I do actually.
And then they had like a knockoff brand Dubba twins that tried to come in. It never worked.
That's right. Once the Dubbas, they moved, didn't they? Or they went off to college.
Who, the Dubbas?
Jennifer and Shelley.
Yeah, they went to Alabama, I guess. I guess they outgrew.
Yeah, I think they outgrew it, so they tried to replace them, and it was a downgrade, and it did not work, okay? So that's who the Dubba twins are. They used to be on WTTO TV 21 here in Birmingham. Lance and I used to do a football TV show on there way back in the day. They were part of it.
Y2K, though, I was at Chico's.
Yeah, so I asked that. Yeah, the long way of going. Did you not go out because you were fearful of Y2K? Or did you? And like, of all the people in the world that wouldn't care about Y2K, I would think it would be you because it was technologically based. And you're like,
a couple of things
I don't even
remember
know how
about
this stuff works.
I've got some weird, I don't want to call this a core memory, but I ate at Mexico Lindo that night.
Okay.
The one right there on Hollywood Boulevard.
This is a pretty remarkable recall.
That morning, I remember listening to Matt and Scott because I was working at Jocks at that point, and they
were doing a New Year's Eve show?
Because they had talked to somebody. There must have been a big game or something. Oh, Alabama was playing
Michigan that night.
Yeah, they did
That's
a live
how I remember
show.
where I was.
But they were talking to somebody in Australia because the ball had already dropped over there.
Oh, are we still alive?
Yeah. But I do remember that being like major fear factor for a lot of people.
1 year after that night, New Year's Eve of 2000, we had all survived Y2K. New Year's Eve. Melton, do you I lose track of how old you are.
Yeah.
I know it was just 25 years ago. Do you have vivid memories of this?
I do. I was at my sister's apartment watching The Sixth Sense.
Oh.
The M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Now, did you figure it out in the first 10 minutes like Brown did?
Could have saved you a lot of time on that.
I'm not exaggerating. I think I did, yeah.
Okay. I don't think
I had it figured out.
Like, I kind of think it's
obvious.
obvious.
Are they going to ever explain the fact that he was murdered in the first 10 minutes of the movie?
I mean, that's the whole thing. They actually
gut shot. You didn't know it was like 50-50 whether or not he survived.
That's what I don't understand. It's like the Nate Bargatze bit. He's like, they actually show him get shot.
Do you remember who shot him?
No, it's been so long since
it was a new kid on the block.
Oh, was it?
Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie
Donnie
Wahlberg?
Wahlberg, yeah.
And he looked unhealthy in that movie.
I think underrated actor Donnie Wahlberg. I'm just going to say I think underrated.
Give me his best roles.
I've seen him in Ransom. I saw him in The Sixth Sense for a second. I know he does that Blue Bloods, but I've never seen an episode of it.
Give me his best role.
I haven't seen enough stuff.
I think he's great in Saw 2. I think he's fantastic in Saw 2. Yeah.
I saw
Detective
Saw,
Matthews.
but I never saw Saw 2 or 3 or however many they got.
Tyler is young enough. Tyler, do you even remember Y2K?
I do not. I would have been like 9 or 10 months
Okay.
old.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you would have
But
been.
Mel was probably only 10, right?
Yeah, I'm 36 now, so yeah,
Okay.
it was about 10.
1 year after that, we all survived. I was back at, I remember where I was on Y2K because we were at a friend's house and we didn't go out. And then 1 year after, we were at a different friend's house and we were watching what is now affectionately known as the Snow Bowl. 1 year after Y2K, Mississippi State and Texas A&M.
I remember where I was for that one.
I do too. Not conference foes at the time. Played in the Snow Bowl. It was the old school Independence Bowl in Shreveport, Louisiana. And as I remember it, I don't know if I'm right about this, the snow, or at least the volume of snow, surprised the forecasters, the weathermen. They had no clue it was going to snow that much. And, buddy, it was a blizzard during this game. And it ends up being a classic game. Do you remember?
I remember it.
Everybody's like, LT's got the best memory ever. Tell me who you had, what the point spread was, and the final score.
Well,
Can you tell me any of those things?
I don't. I think I had the over because everybody was playing the under, and it flew over.
Yes.
Right?
That was one of those you're like, you see the snow, play the under. No, that flew way over.
Yeah.
Thanks to overtime.
It didn't even seem like the snow was really a factor as far as the play.
Yeah.
Like, watching it on TV, I mean, it was some of the thickest snow you'll ever see. The last time I saw snow like that, I think it was Buffalo playing maybe the Eagles.
Yeah.
What was the final, though?
43-41. Mississippi State Bulldogs under Coach Jackie Sherrill won the game over R.C. Slocum's Texas A&M Aggies.
I know
SEC
you
versus Big
started
12.
somewhere with Mississippi State, and you went.
I'm getting to it.
Okay.
I'm getting to it. They will play the 25 years later, they will play this year. We just mentioned that. The Mississippi State plays Texas A&M.
There we go. Full circle.
So they're going to...
Took 25 years to get to the end of that story.
The Dubba twins.
Yeah. Not entirely my fault that it's taken this long, as you guys know. So they're going to commemorate that, Mississippi State is. I'm going to start by showing you the helmets they currently wear. So, Tyler, if you will, here are the helmets, just to refresh your memory, Mississippi State currently wears. Do you like that one? For those listening, Tyler is showing Lance the block M with the banner across it that simply says State. Do you like that helmet?
I do not like that helmet.
Okay. There is an alternate helmet they occasionally wear, Tyler, if you will, the next one. And for those that are just listening at home and can't see it, this is the script cursive State. Do you like that one?
I like it a little better.
Okay, so that would be the one you would wear right now. The one they wore...
It is very plain, though.
It is quite plain.
Yeah.
The one they wore the night of the Snow Bowl, to me, should be their permanent helmet. Tyler, this is what they will be wearing against Texas A&M.
Yeah, I like the
interlocking M, S, and U for those that cannot see it.
Yeah.
That's the one I would go with if I were.
Yeah, I would go a little smaller, I think, on the MSU, just a little bit. And I like the white, I think.
So you'd go white with the interlocking
the
MS
color
and U.
combination is just awful.
The
you
maroon
can't
and
do
white?
anything with maroon. Maroon is one of the worst. It's weird because I like purple, I like red, I don't like maroon.
Yeah.
I love maroon.
Do you really?
Yeah. It's my high school color.
Boy, that State Texas A&M game's got to suck for you. There's a lot of maroon.
Well, we got way too much maroon in the conference.
Well, we do. Some call it crimson.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma and Alabama
But
have...
Alabama's got it's you call it crimson, but it's more of a red.
Well, it's gotten lighter over the years.
And I like that light red.
You go back and look at Alabama's jerseys in the 80s and early 90s. This is a much darker crimson than it is now.
Yeah. Well, and it's I mean, I guess you can see it like in a Lindy's or something.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to
when you were watching it in low def.
Yeah. No, that's right. You never knew. That's the helmet if I'm Mississippi State. Tyler, throw those last two back up if you don't mind. The one they're wearing in commemoration of the Snow Bowl. 25 years later, they'll wear this against Texas A&M. We just mentioned that they play Texas A&M. Let me give you the date on that one real quick. They play that game Saturday, October 4th at Kyle Field, so they'll be on the road. That's the helmet I would go with if I was State. They have searched. They've tried a bunch of different combos. I go that helmet, and I didn't give Tyler a photo for this, but I go with the gray pants and the maroon top. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
When they wear the gray pants, that's the uniform I go with if I'm State.
Well, it's interesting because I always dog out these alternate uniforms, but I do think the gray with State looks good.
The gray pants? Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
When they go gray pants with the maroon jersey, that is their best look. But boy, State has tried to find a uniform. They're going with a blackout jersey. Baylor is doing a blackout against Auburn, Matt Mosley told us. State's doing a blackout against Arizona State.
Yeah, but I think State's done a blackout before, yeah.
Yeah, but they're doing it against Arizona State week 2. So they appear to be all in. That's a night game, right? Over in Starkville.
You better hope it is.
Yeah, I know. 6:30 ESPN2 for that one over in Starkville. It'll
Starkville,
still be a million degrees.
much like Tuscaloosa, 1,000 degrees.
Yeah.
I've never seen a game there, but how obnoxious are the cowbells in person?
It washes over you at some point. I've been to 3 games in Starkville.
See, I've been to Starkville. I've never been to a game because I was heading over. We were bussing over with the old Casino Superior. People, we had the margarita machines and everything, and then Bethany went into emergency labor.
Oh, no. So
I didn't miss much because LSU beat them 45-0. You remember that Thursday night game?
Oh, I do. Yeah.
That was the night Jack was born.
Yeah, I was at a Thursday night game that Auburn played over there, not the infamous 3-2 game. There was another game Auburn played over there on a Thursday night that Auburn won. And at some point, if you're sitting next to somebody that's just ringing in your ear, that's going to be a different experience.
The 11 o'clock's got to hit hard, though. 11 in the morning.
Oh, yeah, cowbell.
Yeah.
Especially if you've had a long night in Starkville the night before. But if you're just in the crowd and somebody's not right next to you, it kind of washes over you after a little bit. I've talked to players that play there, and they're like, it's really not that big a deal. The SEC goes to great lengths to make them stop ringing it. When the play starts, they're like, at some point, it's just, it all blends together. It's really not that big a deal. Sounds like much more on TV. Jay says Mississippi State's done a lot to upgrade that stadium. They actually have. They've put a lot of work into that stadium over the last few years, since I've been there, in fact.
SEC money.
That'll help you.
Spins.
That'll help you. It definitely spins. All right, if you want to go see America and some games like this, Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 Indicator is where you can find Johnston RV Center. They've got a price range for everybody. You can find Johnston RV Center's RVs as low as $129 a month with approved credit, all the way up to those motorhomes. You can find a price range for you. An RV warranty forever. Make sure you got a lifetime warranty on everything that is new and qualifying pre-owned at Johnston RV Center. And you see there, they'll stand by their price. If you find a lower price, they will beat it. Take it to them and see. JohnstonRVCenter.com. So a little throwback to that great snowball. I remember that game fondly. That was such an entertaining game. 43-41 overtime. You watch teams play in the snow, and it goes back to what we talked about yesterday. We were talking about Brent Musburger used to do the You Are Looking Live for help gambling, and you said a lot of people will look at it raining and take the under. That was one great. They played that entire game in a blizzard, and it flew over.
Yeah, I think it was over at halftime, if I remember correctly.
I can give you the halftime score. You would never remember.
I think the total, I'm just guessing at that point, was probably 36.5 to 38.5.
I don't know. Your halftime was Texas A&M was up 20-14, so you were at 34.
Yeah, it was close.
Yeah, so you were knocking on the door of an over.
You felt good.
Yeah, you did feel good. That third quarter didn't help you much. It's only a 7-0 third quarter, though.
It still went over in the third.
Yeah, you kick back and drink your.
The more I think about it, I absolutely do nothing on New Year's Eve now, and unless we're at one of these said venues for a college football playoff game. But man, thinking back to 99, 2000, we were always out on New Year's Eve.
We were. The saddest New Year's Eve I've ever experienced, and I think it was, I'm trying to remember if it was Alabama-Cincinnati, I think, played on New Year's Eve. Yeah, I think that was it. In Dallas. And we stay in Dallas, and if you've ever been out to Arlington, the stadium's probably, 20 minutes from downtown?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that game.
We stayed at the Omni. It was you didn't go. I think you had COVID or something like that. There was a reason you didn't go.
When was that? What year?
2022. It was the year Alabama ended up playing Georgia in Indianapolis. I think you had COVID, so you had to stay back. I think you were a late scratch.
Yeah. Because I ended up going to Indianapolis.
Yeah, you were in Indianapolis. Dunaway and I did the show from Dallas, and I think you were in your basement at home because you had COVID. You didn't even come up here.
Did not.
You were a late scratch for that.
Didn't miss much.
Yeah, you were a late scratch. No, it was not a very good game. Alabama, as I remember, Cincinnati. Cincinnati didn't even threaten to score a touchdown.
And I'm also blown away how much people like the city of Dallas.
I like Fort Worth a lot better.
I've heard you say that. I've heard other people say that.
You've never spent much time in Fort Worth? Yeah, Fort Worth to me is better than Dallas. But I remember I was sitting. It's about 20 minutes from the Omni, so they do a media shuttle, and I was like, I'd rather do that than drive. So we left the car parked, and we took the media bus, and so I'm going back, and as I'm leaving and waiting on the bus to leave, midnight hits, and some like poor voice in the back of the bus goes, "Happy New Year!" And I'm like, God, that was the saddest Happy New Year I've ever heard. It was the saddest moment of my New Year life. Happy New Year. And then there was some fireworks show or something like that.
Yeah, being in the media can be a little sad at times, you know?
It can be.
Sounds like a disembodied voice when you do it.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're
but that's
on
what
the
it sounded
Haunted
like.
Mansion.
Well, he was like way back in the back of the bus. Happy New Year.
Was it Feinbaum?
No, I'm sure Paul was still working.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't ride the shuttle.
No, Paul flies private. Pete Thamel, we got breaking news. Pete Thamel has got the punishments. He and our guy Dan Wetzel. Brakeline Optics brings you all of our breaking news. BrakelineOptics.com is where you find these. They are durable. They are impossible to break. They look great on you. They fit great. They're lightweight. These polarized cast molded Trivex lenses, we've tried to break them in our own parking lot. You cannot do it. We have hammered it. BrakelineOptics.com. You can see more for yourself in person at Deep South Outfitters, or you can find them online. All that they have, BrakelineOptics.com. Local Birmingham company, operates nationally. So support them and get some great-looking sunglasses. Today is, I think, the last day of the mystery box. $200 worth of merchandise for just $89. $200 or more worth of merchandise, depending on what you get in the mystery box. BrakelineOptics.com.
You know, when you said there was breaking news, I saw this hypothetical trade on ESPN, and I thought that was the breaking news. And I'm like, oh, damn, Micah Parsons just got traded to the Detroit Lions.
Oh, Detroit love that. They need a defense.
Well, just a hypothetical trade there that Mike Tannenbaum put together. Micah Parsons to the Lions for a first-round pick, 2 seconds, and Brian Branch.
Wow, former Alabama safety Brian Branch.
So that is a hypothetical
That's hypothetical.
trade.
That
Never
is not
happened.
breaking. No.
Breaking news is.
This is Michigan. Pete Thamel and Dan Wetzel, our buddy Dan Wetzel, reporting this is what Michigan is going to get.
And Tyler has pulled it up for you there. If
He's
you're
very
watching.
good. A significant fine expected to exceed $20 million. Loss of postseason football revenue for the next 2 seasons. So that's how they'll extract the fine from them.
And that could be significant.
Could be. Sharon Moore given an additional single-game suspension, and it's not expected to take place until 2026.
So he will be coaching
He
against
will
Oklahoma.
be coaching against Oklahoma. Assuming he's still the head coach in 2026, he's suspended. The school, as Pete reminds everyone, has already self-imposed a 2-game ban for the upcoming season. But keep in mind now, that's weeks 3 and 4. I mean, I would say in terms of Sharon Moore, you got off pretty easy on this. You've already been suspended those 2 games. You don't have to do another one until next year. I'll see if I can tell you who they open with next year. But if that's a layup, that's probably when he does it next year.
Yep.
I mean, that's not that bad, right? I mean, that's a lot of money, but you can figure that one out.
Well, I mean, I think Michigan fans will read it. They breathe a sigh of relief. It's not their money. It probably doesn't really affect.
Yeah.
It probably is more of a trickle down to other sports, right?
Yeah. They open, probably so. I mean, it's the rowing team that will feel the brunt of this one. 2026, I'm assuming September 5th is week 1 that year. They open against Western Michigan before Oklahoma comes to Michigan Stadium. So I'm assuming that's probably when you will see him face that suspension.
Well, that's pretty official that Jim Harbaugh and Connor Stallions probably don't coach again at the collegiate level.
A 10-year show cause is what Pete is reporting that includes in addition to what they've already gotten here.
What did Pruitt get with Tennessee?
I think it was 10 years. If I'm not mistaken, it was 10 year.
I mean, that's basically a ban, lifetime ban.
Yeah, I mean, and that guy is still out of football.
Yeah.
I mean, he's working in the high school ranks now. So to wrap up what Pete has said, no further suspension, according to he and Dan Wetzel, this year for Michigan, but a 10-year show cause for Jim Harbaugh, 8-year show cause for Connor Stallions. So Harbaugh will stay in the NFL, Stallions will stay in the podcast game, and probably not coach ever in college athletics again. We talked about this yesterday. I don't think Harbaugh ever had any designs of doing it again.
Yeah.
I think that guy's an NFL coach for the rest of his life, in my opinion.
Well, look, I mean, he achieved what he wanted to. He slowly built it up at Michigan. He won a national championship. He tapped out, and now he looks like, he's got the ingredients maybe to make a Super Bowl run.
Yeah. So that is what appears to be the bow on the gift that was what did we didn't call that Spygate. That was the Patriots.
Yeah.
The Connor Stallion situation, I guess is what we'll call it. This is the bow on the end of this. This seems like this closes all of it, and we can be done talking about this, and I'm happy with that. It was a storyline that...
Yeah, did you ever even watch... I know Dunaway watched the documentary. I just really didn't have a desire to watch it.
No, I remember when everybody was talking about, this is going to be so good, so good, so good. I'm like, boy, I am worn out on this story. I don't know that I can take any more of it. And I don't really care. I mean, we've seen how it played out on the field, and we've seen Michigan maybe get their comeuppance with a TCU game from it. So I don't really care how it all turned out. But this closes the door on it, and that's all I really care about. All right, let's do the viewing menu presented each day by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. Then we'll talk with Todd Fuhrman.
205-969-8100. That is the number that I called back in 2003. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. 2015 vision after the procedure, which only took 12 minutes for both eyes. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They are going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Got a couple new theatrical releases for you today. First off, Spike Lee's new movie, Highest to Lowest. When a powerful music mogul is targeted by a ransom plot, he is forced to fight for his family and legacy while jammed up in a life-or-death moral dilemma. It's an English-language interpretation of High and Low from Akira Kurosawa, and it stars Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, A$AP Rocky, and Ice Spice, who you might remember, Brown, from the Gen Z quiz.
Yeah, one of the Spice Girls, Ice Spice, still with us.
And what is the name of this again, Tyler?
Highest to Lowest. It's having a limited theatrical rollout until it hits Apple TV Plus in September.
Lance, what's your favorite Spike Lee movie?
I was going to say I've never been a huge Spike Lee guy.
That's why I asked Lance.
I liked 25th Hour. I like Clockers.
Have you seen Inside Man?
I've seen Inside Man. I like it.
I love Inside Man.
Inside Man is Denzel, the bank job.
Yeah.
I like that one. Then that would be my favorite Spike Lee
I thought
movie.
He Got Game was actually pretty good for a sports movie.
Yeah.
I mean, Ray Allen wasn't the best actor in the world.
This movie looks good, though. This Highest to Lowest movie looks good.
How are the reviews so far?
Don't know.
Let me pull that up real quick.
One thing that's frustrating, though, is like they're rolling it out on Apple TV Plus in like 3 weeks. So it's really killing the momentum for the theatrical distribution of this film, which I think would do well if it had opened wider this weekend. But it's a tough ticket to find.
I mean, Denzel and Jeffrey Wright together, those are two fantastic actors.
Yeah.
Rick Fox is in it.
Wow.
Rick Fox,
Los
the former
Angeles
Laker?
Yeah, former
He's in this
Carolina
movie?
Tar Heel.
How about that?
L.A. Laker. You know, he was in Oz. That's where he cut his teeth acting.
Are him and Vivica still together?
Oh, I don't know.
Vivica A?
Vivica A. Fox?
Yeah, she always had the A in there. Vivica A.
It's currently sitting at a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's pretty strong.
Trailer looks great.
It
looks really good. It's like peak prime Denzel. That's what it feels like to me.
I'm all in. But we can't see it until it hits Apple?
Pretty much. I mean, I think that they'll expand it a little bit. I think there'll be some showings in the area.
Brown, do you remember the last Denzel flick you watched on Apple?
Oh, it was. I didn't watch the flick. I gave it up about 10 minutes in.
It was the Coen brothers, right?
Yeah, Macbeth, the Coen brothers' interpretation of Macbeth. One of the worst 10 minutes of a movie I've ever seen.
Why did you start that? That seems like the most anti-Ryan
I
Brown
don't
movie
disagree
ever.
with you, Melton. I think somebody had told me it was good. And I was
Okay,
like,
so you got to go back.
Denzel.
You've got to watch the black and white Macbeth, or you have to go back and watch Lincoln again.
Oh, God. Which one's longer?
Probably Lincoln.
Probably.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, probably Lincoln.
At least I haven't seen the Macbeth, so I guess I'd give
Lincoln is good.
That's so boring.
I've heard it's good.
So you've never seen it? Mm-mm. I mean, if you like watching Daniel Day-Lewis walk around and talk like Abraham Lincoln for 2.5 hours, that's
Tommy Lee Jones is
love it.
pretty good in it too.
Yeah.
Isn't Sally Field Mary Todd?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't even show him getting shot.
Does that mean you've aged out of like good roles when they're like, we're going to cast you as Mary Todd?
That's
So when you went to go see Titanic, you're like, I'm just here for the iceberg
Well, I
action.
knew they were going to show it sink. I mean, you would have to give me. It's a pretty big moment in Lincoln's life when he takes that bullet, and they don't even show that.
I'll never forget when I went from watching Pixar and animated films to creeping up to PG. And one of the first dramatic films I watched with the kids was Titanic. And they could not talk about. I mean, they were like, "That was the most boring thing I've ever seen." Until Billy Zane pulls a gun out at the end, and then
go. There we go.
He's a bad shot.
Now we got
He's
action.
a bad shot.
Yeah.
And then boat sinks, and they're like, okay. And I was like, well, you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So they weren't big fans.
I just thought Lincoln would have more of Lincoln getting shot than the pursuit of John Wilkes Booth, Lincoln fighting for his life, trying to get him. I thought we'd have more of that. No.
I mean, was there a minute where he was fighting for his life? I thought it was pretty automatic.
No, I
wasn't
think
it?
he died hours later. I think it was the next day he died.
I think the perspective of John Wilkes Booth would have been better.
I don't disagree with you. Could have been worse.
We go after your film tastes all the time, but do you like stage productions at all? Will you go buy a ticket to a play and sit down and watch it and enjoy it?
I can't remember the last time
I think you would enjoy it. I don't think I've ever been to a play where I was like, man, that sucked.
Yeah,
I haven't been to a lot. Like, I've seen Grease on Broadway. I've seen Hamilton.
I remember one time seeing, what's the Saigon?
Oh,
come on. What's the name of the one that
Miss Saigon?
Yeah, Miss Saigon. Birmingham Broadway series down at the BJCC. And my wife, we were dating at the time, maybe engaged, her parents and her grandmother. And it opens in a brothel for like 20 minutes. And I'm sitting one person removed from my wife's country, deep Southern Baptist, lifelong, probably teetotaler grandmother. And it's a scene in a brothel. And I'm like, well, this is uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm bored.
I'll tell you, I was a girl.
Jim, why are you in a trench coat? Anyway, sorry.
Girl I was dating in 8th grade. I'm downstairs with her dad, waiting for her to come down. And he has got Revenge of the Nerds on. And it's the scene where they do the sorority house raid.
Yeah.
And then they're watching the next day, and he's like, I see Bush. And I'm sitting there as an 8th grader with this dad waiting for his daughter to come down.
Yeah, wow.
That's
that also
uncomfortable.
would be awkward, yes. Sorry, Tyler. What's next?
Oh, you're good. We've also got in theaters a re-release of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1990 for its 35th anniversary. I will probably go see this weekend.
Another one I didn't see.
I love the practical effects for the turtles and just the Jim Henson puppet for Master Splinter.
Who's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
I'm gonna go with Leonardo.
Not Donatello?
He's got the sword and he's got a blue headband.
God, it was amazing how big they were back in the 80s.
I saw, I guess when the original came out, was that late 80s, 89?
90 for the live action movie.
Yeah, so I did see that. I remember Corey Feldman was in it, right?
Yes, I want to say he voiced Michelangelo.
Okay, because I always have these weird Corey Feldman concert videos that pop up on my feed. I don't know why.
They're not great.
He's always shirtless.
Yep.
There's always some kind of technical problem with the band. He's always doing a cover song, and he's trying to dance like Michael Jackson. It is some of the most mesmerizing, terrible stuff you'll ever see.
And there are people there, remarkably.
It's very strange.
Thank you very much, Tyler Buhrman. You're presented by Michelson. When we return, Todd Fuhrman gives us the numbers from the desert. That is next.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
What are you waiting for? It's non-stop gaming action at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Come play more than 900 of the latest and greatest games around, featuring fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can wager and win on horse and greyhound races from all over the world. There are more ways to win at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Birmingham Racecourse Casino, located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1? Find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2? Stream it now. Miss Hour 3? Download it for later. Miss Hour 4? Well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
It is the first college tailgate party of the season. Boiling and Bragging. Saturday, August 16th, 6 to 8:30 p.m. in Mountain Brook's Crestline Village, near O'Neill Library. Come enjoy great food, kids games, live music, and support your favorite team at Boiling and Bragging. This annual event benefits the Critical Care Transport Team at Children's of Alabama. Saturday, August 16th, 6 to 8:30 p.m. in Mountain Brook's Crestline Village. For more information, visit boilinginbragging.org. That's the letter N, boilinginbragging.org.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
When you crave activity like we do, you belong in the Roback family. Get the best golf wear, hoodies, and activewear for men and women at Roback.com. Use promo code TNR20 to get 20% off your order. That's Roback.com, promo code TNR20.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, we go to a new hour of the next round. Dunaway will be back with us on Monday. Out of town for a funeral, so he'll be back as we get to a game week on Monday. He is Lance Taylor. I'm Ryan Brown. Forrester also back Monday, moving his daughter into college. Tim Melton keeping us sounding good. Tyler making us look good. And Todd Fuhrman is with us now on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. Welcome in, Fuhrman. How are you today?
I'm doing well, gentlemen. Hopefully you guys are as well this fine Friday.
And doing fantastic. We greatly appreciate it. Again, we are 1 week away from game week. I know that's got to get your blood boiling, get fired up when we actually have non-preseason football, but actual football 1 week from tomorrow.
Yeah, a little bit disappointing. No NFL preseason last night, so I found myself locked in on CBS Sports Network watching the Winnipeg Blue Bombers take on the Ottawa Red Blacks, and always one thread of connectivity, football across all levels. The starting quarterback for Winnipeg just happened to be the college roommate of Travis Kelce and Zach Collaros, a man I'm sure LT bet on or against plenty when he was a member of the Bearcats.
So is there more action in sports books out there on CFL or WNBA?
You know, that's a great question, and one I may have to poke around and try and have a better answer for you next week. But the WNBA, has no doubt grown in popularity over the last couple of years. It was kind of an afterthought. Still largely caters to a very sharp clientele, more so than some of the recreational bettors. But with the popularity around the Aces specifically over the last couple of years, you've seen local sports books out here take a few more dollars than they would have in years past. And I think the CFL, given the fact that you only get one game a night with that unique Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday schedule, kind of becomes an afterthought. As much of a CBS guy as I am, as soon as ESPN lost the broadcasting rights, I think people really struggled to find the one game a week that's televised nationally.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely tough to find. There's no doubt about that. If you could, let's talk about the NFL preseason. I want to start with Lance's Rams because I see today Matt Stafford's going to try to throw again. Lance, 68 passes last Saturday. Sean McVay said his body did not react well. What is Las Vegas doing right now with the Rams, with their quarterback is very much a question mark health-wise?
Still in a holding pattern in terms of the way that the betting market has approached the Rams on the macro level. When we look ahead to the Week 1 game where the Rams will be a modest 2.5-point home favorite, that assumes Matthew Stafford will be out there against the Houston Texans and that tenacious defense. When you assess where their win total is, their odds to win the division, we've seen a little bit of change in the odds to win the NFC West. They had actually been bet into that favorite role coming into camp with a shorter price than the 49ers, Cardinals, and Seahawks. That number has been on the drift a little bit, but no one wants to kind of overreact. As you guys know all too well, if there's one franchise that loves to mask the severity of injuries, it is definitely the Los Angeles Rams. But this seems to be a little bit more serious than even the Rams want to let on. So I think a lot of us in the football world, both as handicappers, fans, etc., will no doubt be paying attention to how the throwing session goes tomorrow morning and how quickly Matthew Stafford can resume normal activities, because the season will be here before we know it. And the one thing I will have to give the Rams credit for, if they think this is going to be a pain threshold or pain tolerance management scenario that they'll be going through, no reason to necessarily get Matt Stafford out on the field for Week 1 if they think it'll hinder his ability to be out there when the games start to mean a little bit more in the second half of the schedule.
Have you taken a flyer on any value picks to win a certain division?
The NFC West for me was the most intriguing. Even before the Stafford news, I thought the Arizona Cardinals could be a team that take a step in the right direction with the way that they've been able to overhaul their defensive personnel. It was a group much maligned when Coach Gannon took over. Offensively, the addition of Trey Benson last year, I think he'll eat in some of that workload for James Conner. And Kyler Murray, who is never healthy to end a season, believes that he will be much healthier this year, and as a result, we'll see a little bit more dynamic running ability. But when you go through these divisions, I think the only other one that intrigued me some, and again, haven't added this to my portfolio yet, is the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC South as well. The problem for the Falcons, if anybody hasn't looked at exactly what their schedule is, it's one of the more unique layouts, albeit not with some of the upper echelon opponents. But they go through long stretches where they only play one home game. They have no bye after an international trip to Germany. So I'll be looking at opportunities to kind of enter the market on the Falcons if I think this team can live up to some of those lofty expectations early on, because I'm kind of a seller, at least the way things look right now on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers early in the season. I think the absence of Tristan Wirfs on that offensive line, losing Liam Cohen to the head coach of the Jaguars, you're going to see an offensive regression for Baker Mayfield and company.
Todd Fuhrman is with us at Todd Fuhrman, CBS Sports. He is on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline. At Todd Fuhrman is where you find him on social media. I would imagine it's really difficult to handicap preseason games to begin with. I don't know what you do with Cleveland. Shedeur Sanders was going to get the start, but he hurt his oblique, so now he may not even play. They'd already really, it appeared, had moved on from the idea of playing Flacco or Dylan Gabriel. They've got Snoop Huntley. I mean, they've got all the quarterbacks in the world, but they don't have any of them healthy. I don't know how you figure this game out tomorrow night as they take on Philadelphia and Philly.
It almost sounds counterintuitive to say that if you're looking to try and bet the Cleveland Browns in this spot as a 4-point underdog, you probably want the full Snoop Huntley experience, knowing his veteran pedigree and the fact that he has been in these kind of roles before. His mobility in the pocket can always be something very difficult for opposing defenses to kind of contend with. But we did see this number open as short as Philadelphia, -1.5. Price climbed as high as 5, and you started to see a little bit of resistance. I think the other big question for Philadelphia, we saw how well Tanner McKee played against, the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s for the Cincinnati Bengals last week. But the storyline that I think is fascinating, and I've been trying to dig on this, talk to my folks around Philly, could we see a scenario where Nick Sirianni wants to scheme up a few unique wrinkles for a former member of the Cleveland Browns under center in Dorian Thompson-Robinson? So not a game that I have bet myself right now. We lean ever so slightly towards Philly, but it does become a little bit of a delicate proposition, laying a number over a field goal with predominantly backups out there, even for a roster as talented as the Eagles, against that quarterback carousel we could see employed by the Cleveland Browns.
So me and Brown are both buying into the New England Patriots and this hype they're getting with Drake May in year 2. Are you buying into New England being much better this year?
I'm buying into them being much better this season, but I'm not buying into them taking a meteoric rise and going from where they finished last year to potentially winning 9 or 10 games that it'll take to go over their regular season win total 8.5. What I do think is interesting about New England, though, this time last year, going into the Jared Mayo experience, they were forecasted to be favorites in exactly 0 games. Now, fast forward to Mike Vrabel taking over, upgrades on the roster, Drake May entering his sophomore season and a retooled offensive line, and the Patriots are listed as a favorite in 11 games going into this season. It, of course, does come with the asterisk that they're very short favorites in a number of those games, and in the NFL, we know a team being installed as a 3-point favorite is far from a formality that they're going to go out there and win that game. So I'm looking at New England more on a week-to-week basis, more so than trying to invest in them at a macro level. And I can tell you guys from talking to some professional bettors around that week 1 matchup against the Las Vegas Raiders, should this number get to 3.5 across the board, in my opinion, you are going to see a substantial buy from Geno Smith and Pete Carroll catching over a field goal, even against a new-look Patriots team that I think can be a legitimate threat to be the second best team in the AFC East this year.
I stumbled across an article today, Fuhrman, on the college side that was making a case for 5 win total bets. And knowing you were going to come on, 2 of these are off the board. Like one of them, he made a case for under 7.5 Auburn, over 9.5 Georgia, under 10.5 Notre Dame. Those are all, at least with Auburn in this market, those are all, mainline teams you would be talking about. 2 he brought up, though, I want to ask you about. He made a case for Cal under 5.5. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because they lost a ton on the offensive side of the transfer portal.
It's a program, in my opinion, that is going through a major transitional stage. And when you bring in a general manager like Ron Rivera to kind of take over, returning him to his roots where he honed his craft in college, Justin Wilcox feels like a little bit of a lame duck head coach. Cal and Stanford, 2 teams in the ACC that I think you're going to see over the next couple of years continue to get worn down, not just by the travel schedule, but their inability to recruit unless they can kind of overhaul their team philosophies. Cal has been a team that we have seen under money come in and that win total at 5.5. We've also seen them bet against in their season opener against Oregon State, a number that's gone from 2.5 to 3. We're going to have a pretty good indication of exactly where Cal is in relation to that 5.5 win total when they get through their first 4 games. If they're able to pull off an upset on the road at Oregon State, you expect them to hold serve against Texas Southern and then get a split maybe against Minnesota and San Diego State. I think that becomes the true litmus test. So it's not a team that I have bullish or true bearish sentiment on, but I do think you're going to see a significant step back with a downgrade in quarterback play, knowing that Fernando Mendoza masked a lot of their defensive deficiencies, and it allowed them to play a little bit more up-tempo, high-flying style than a defensive-minded head coach in Justin Wilcox would like.
The other was Wake over the 4.5. So I don't see a whole lot of talk about Cal and Wake, but Wake over the 4.5.
I'm pretty sure even in ACC circles, you're not going to see a whole lot of talk about these 2 programs. And Wake Forest has a legitimate chance to start the season 3-0. They'll be a massive favorite, or I should say against Kennesaw State, north of 17 points. They'll be a favorite against Western Carolina, and then they'll get a game against NC State, which will be fascinating because I don't believe it's a conference game. I think it's a non-conference game that these teams wanted to schedule to keep that rivalry going. When you go through what Wake Forest has in front of them, Jake Dykert has one of the more difficult jobs in all of college football, trying to take a student body enrollment that is one of the lowest in all of the Power 4 conferences, high academic standards, and try and restore them to where Coach Clausen and Jim Grobe did from time to time. I'm not a buyer in Wake Forest in year 0 here, so I would disagree with going over 4.5. I think the schedule, when you go through ACC opponents, looks to be a little bit more difficult than people would be led to believe, and I would be surprised if this team won 5 games or more.
I think those are 2 programs. Here's what they have in common. I think Dickert's a good coach. He was, for those that don't know, at Washington State.
And he ended up losing his job because he refused to – no, that wasn't him.
No. That was
Nick Rolovich. Let's not confuse our favorite head coaches in the Palouse, my friend.
Yeah, right. Yeah, this guy left because he saw the future for Washington State, and it wasn't good. So he jumped to a power conference. I've always thought Justin Wilcox is a better coach than his record shows at Cal, but I don't have any numbers I can hang that on, Fuhrman. Like, I can only argue that I think he's a good coach, but at some point you are what your record says you are, and his record's not great.
No, and that's a very difficult place to win in Cal. So the fact that Wilcox has been able to keep his job doing it largely with a team that committed to some of his defensive principles. But when you're a defensive-minded head coach and your team starts to lose its way and can't perform defensively, for me, that becomes a huge red flag. And if Justin Wilcox is relieved of his head coaching responsibilities there, I have to imagine he will be one of the first phone calls for a team that's looking to bolster their defensive coordinator. And for Jake Dykert, you're exactly right. I mean, Washington State is a program in peril as they'll make the transition of the new look Pac-12/Mountain West. I think he saw an opportunity to go to unfamiliar territory and a program where he's going to get a little bit of a longer runway with low expectations. But the craziest nugget about Jake Dykert and what he did at Washington State, keep in mind at one point that quarterback room in Pullman, Washington was Sam Leavitt, who is now one of the guys potentially in the thick of things to win the Heisman Trophy. Josh Mateer at Oklahoma, we can get to him in a second if you have questions about what he was grabbing headlines for this week, and Cam Ward. So talk about a pretty impressive quarterback room that they were able to recruit up there in Pullman. If he's able to replicate that even on a lesser level at Wake Forest, I think there should be a high level of optimism if he can coach a 3-star kid into producing at a 4 or 5-star level.
Okay, to John Mateer and the Venmo descriptions. I don't think the kid's dumb enough to put that on the description. I think he was having fun. I could be wrong. I am amazed at how many illegal bookmakers will take Venmo now. But your thoughts on the Mateer?
You know, my take on it is this, that I think sometimes hiding in plain sight, I don't think it was malicious for Mateer at all. And I'm not sure it was necessarily joking around about the nature of the transaction. Keep in mind, guys, we live in a world where Calvin Ridley, when he was going to be out for a season with the Jacksonville Jaguars, decided to sign up for a regulated sports book in the state of Florida under his own name and chose to bet NFL parlays during that particular window. So never underestimate the level of stupidity or naivete from a pro or college athlete. Do I think Mateer bets sports? Yes. Do I have knowledge of the situation? Absolutely not. Do I think it's a big deal? Yes and no. My take on all of this is that I think the punishment has to fit the crime, and if the NCAA is going to claim they have a zero-tolerance policy on this, they can't treat every situation the same. If a player, of course, is betting on his or her own games, that is a much different scenario than somebody betting $20 with friends and a Venmo request getting out there. This, of course, guys, coming from a former college athlete, albeit at the Division III level, who bet plenty of college football when he was out there participating in an NCAA sport. I just think we have to have a sensitivity to all this, but I do believe we need an educational process, not just at the collegiate level, but the professional level as well, given some of these storylines that we've seen, the headlines that are out there for all of the wrong reasons. One area, though, that I will be critical, and I know a lot of people disagree with me, I know the NCAA has kind of pushed to allow some of these college athletes to be able to bet professional sports, games that they'll have no involvement in once they're of legal age. I have a real problem with that. And the reason I say that is not the actual act of betting games itself, but for college kids who can't necessarily handle that, we've unfortunately all been around people that couldn't be responsible with their sports betting. The dollar amount starts to get ratcheted up quickly, and the fastest way that these college kids may be able to pay off their debts isn't necessarily throwing games or anything along those lines if they get into the wrong people, but it's sharing the kind of information that the NCAA probably doesn't want getting into the wrong hands at a nefarious level. So that's my big concern anytime we start to talk about sports betting. But I also don't think the state of Ohio trying to eradicate all player prop bets from their legal books is a step in the right direction either.
Yeah, very well said, Fuhrman. All right, when we do this next week, we'll be on the eve of a college football game. So it'll be much more fun than even today was, which I'm sure was a pleasurable experience for you, Fuhrman. Thank you very much for the time.
Always a pleasure, gentlemen. And I'm just banking on, one of these SEC matchups to take place overseas so you guys can do a show on the road and Denaway doesn't show up to the pregame if you guys ever get to Ireland for a conference game.
Oh, we would love that. Would love it.
I don't think you'll ever see an SEC team play in Ireland, but that's just my guess. Yep.
Of course, I never thought we'd see a game this good in Ireland.
That's true. This is one of the best ones we've had. Thank you, Fuhrman. Have a good weekend.
Hey, always a pleasure, guys. You guys do the same.
All right, Todd Fuhrman with us on the Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys Hotline, CBS Sports and a former odds maker there at Caesars Palace. A great place for your fantasy draft is our friends at Twin Peaks.
Absolutely. Fantasy season is here. Twin Peaks, place to draft like a pro from now through September 4th. Reserve your fantasy football draft party at participating Twin Peaks locations and score big. A draft kit loaded with everything you need. $50 kickback card for the commissioner. Don't settle for basic. Draft at the Lodge. And don't forget about the legendary 29-degree drafts served in 3D with the Twin Peaks girls running around. Get in for lunch or dinner, but plan your draft now at Twin Peaks. You can book it. Go to twinpeaksrestaurant.com/fantasy draft.
Also, our guy Greg from Pell City, Storm Restoration Roofing is the name of the company, Storm Restoration Roofing. You find him on Twitter, or excuse me, on Facebook. Greg from Pell City, if you'd like to reach out to him there, you can just call him or shoot him a text, 205-542-3531. That's 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City is the guy that'll climb up on that roof, see if you've had any storm damage, or if you're just in need of a new roof, or sometimes he comes back down and says, you know what, I think you're okay for 4 or 5 years. Let me keep an eye on it for you. That's the way he works. If you know you've had some storm damage, or if you're just in the need to either get a new roof or have your roof inspected, get Greg to do it. He works for the insurance company, so he knows how that game is played. 205-542-3531. Greg from Pell City, 205-542-3531, Storm Restoration Roofing. It does appear that the Mateer story, I mean, the way this works, obviously, is the Michigan story is happening today, which if you just missed us, if you just missed it, it has now become official from the NCAA. The total tab in this case could go to $30 million, according to Pete Thamel. It's going to be bowl postseason money that the NCAA is going to keep for a couple of years. The 10% football program budget fine is at least $7.2 million. They had a $72 million budget last year, so there's a 10%. They basically have to tithe to the NCAA.
Well, big Michigan fan texted me, Michigan billionaires will pony up the fine money. F Ohio State, Michigan State, it's over, thumbs up. So I think Michigan fans are completely fine with this.
So $30 million is that. The big thing is on the show causes for Jim Harbaugh, 10 years, for Connor Stallions, 8 years. For Denard Robinson, he gets looped into this, by the way. Denard Robinson of Shoelace, a 3-year show cause. He cannot have any athletically related activities during that show cause period. Sharon Moore, a 2-year show cause order, during which he is suspended a total of 3 games. The 2 Michigan has already suspended him for, and then 1 more next season. So he can do everything else they point out that he normally does. He's just going to have to sit out 1 more game in addition to the 2 that they have already chosen.
I would love to know what these records are when head coaches sit for whatever reason. Remember, Saban was out with COVID. Hugh Freeze was coaching.
He lost that one, though. Syracuse beat him when he did the thumbs up for the hospital bed.
I would just like to know what the records are. It does seem like a lot of these games are against inferior opponents.
Yeah,
when the coach
it seems like it plays out that way, and Michigan has certainly manipulated it that way.
I mean, how many times have Alabama and Auburn had coaches that had to sit?
I can only remember Nick Saban with COVID.
Yeah,
it's the only time I can remember it. Do you remember another one? I mean, I barely can remember it in all of college football. I think, am I right that Jim Tressel, did he sit one? I think Tressel sat one. Or Meyer. No, Meyer did. I mean, it's funny. It is Ohio State and Michigan that it's happened to. Meyer had to sit out. Yeah. Because I think Ryan Day was the interim coach, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that, but I think Day might have been the coach.
Yeah, I think he was.
Yeah, so, Meyer had to sit out. I mean, outside Ohio State and Michigan, I really don't remember it happening all that much. It's funny that those are the 2 it's happened to. So there you go. That's the end of that. But my point there is everybody was talking about Mateer yesterday. Now the Michigan stuff's happened. You forget about Mateer. That's the way the news cycle works. And you kind of said that. If I'm Oklahoma, I just hold tight and this thing will cycle out.
And it really
kind of has. I don't think anybody will think about it.
Well, I mean, internal investigation, there is 0 chance anything happens with Mateer. I mean, the only thing that would happen is if you've got another student or a local bookmaker shaking him down, threatening to tell some kind of salacious story that we don't know about.
Right.
That would be the only other thing that could pop up.
Yeah, that would certainly be a big story.
And I would guarantee you his Venmo is private now.
Oh, I would hope so. If he's even still on the app, certainly make sure it's private.
I wonder, that story and the Arch Manning, how many people didn't realize that the default is public.
Yeah, and probably quickly made it private because they probably had stuff on there they didn't want people to see. Now, like, it's not always going to be in the description. Like in, I don't know, in a marriage, maybe sometimes questions come up. Why are you sending so-and-so? And it could be a male or a female. Why are you sending so-and-so money? Where were you guys?
See, I just pulled up my Venmo, and it's a bunch of people that, again, I have my phone, but people I don't even talk to. Like this first one paid this girl for sitting in the heat. I love the descriptions, though. Plane ticket, August power bill.
No, you didn't do that.
Lawn care. No, none of this is mine.
Did that, yeah. Just trying to make a point there.
You see pictures of sushi, wine.
Yeah.
I mean, a baseball bat. It's just it is kind of interesting to see the description on what people put.
Before we go to the break, Connor O'Gara, our buddy Saturday Down South.
Chip Brown got paid for tennis. It looks like tennis ball.
Anyway, Chip could play. Chip was a really good player. Did he play at SMU?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, on scholarship.
Blind resume. See if you can tell, and you know this name. I'm not giving you somebody you don't know, okay?
Yep.
You ready? Connor O'Gara, tell me who I'm describing. Just led the number 2 scoring defense in America. Defensive coordinator for a top 10 scoring defense at 3 different FBS programs in the playoff era. Defensive coordinator for 7 top 20 scoring defenses from 2017 through 2024. And now the highest paid SEC assistant.
Pete Golding.
100%. That guy got beat up a lot in his time at Alabama, but when you step back and look at his resume, it's pretty good.
So when he took the job, when Saban plugged him, he came from Texas San Antonio, right? And I remember everybody looking at the picture, and they were like, this is like a composite fraternity guy. Like, just looking at his picture.
Yeah.
You know, the shaggy hair.
Right.
But when we saw him, when we had the opportunity to be honorary coaches at the 8A game.
We were so impressed.
Yeah, blown away, man.
Yeah.
Just his, just his presence.
Yeah, I remember walking away from spending time around him when we were the media coaches, and we all agreed this guy's going to be a star.
Yeah.
And then when Nick Saban named him defensive coordinator, I'm like, well, now he's going to be a huge star because he's going to have Saban defensive coordinator next to his name.
Yeah, and I think Golding's one of those guys now that you mentioned, and when you become the highest paid assistant in the SEC, you're making good money. He's probably going to be much like Kirby, really very selective when it comes to the job he will take.
Yeah, and Nick Saban always liked Pete Golding. Like, Pete Golding got hammered. The one guy that rarely hammered him was Nick Saban. I think Nick Saban really thought that guy was a very good football coach.
Oh, man. And, it was interesting how critical Alabama fans could be of Pete Golding. But what he has done in Oxford has been really incredible with an offensive coach in Lane Kiffin, but having the second overall total defense last year. Yeah, Ole Miss, I mean, you can make the argument under Lane Kiffin, the offense or the defense has been better.
Give you another name that Nick Saban always liked. He wanted to hire him once, and I think if Nick Saban stayed at Alabama, he wanted to hire this guy as his defensive coordinator. In fact, I've been told that this was the guy Saban was going to hire to replace Kevin Still when Still retired, except that Nick Saban decided to retire, was DJ Durkin at Auburn. And Durkin is one of those guys where his numbers, Pete Golding's numbers are better. Durkin's numbers don't always back up the fact that guy is a good defensive coordinator. You go historically look, and you're like, it's kind of hard sometimes for me to make the argument, but people that know ball, Saban, respect the heck out of this guy.
Well, look, and he's a guy that unfortunately, the one thing that people are going to associate with Durkin was the tragedy at Maryland.
There's no doubt. Yeah.
And I wonder if, he gets another opportunity. I mean, he's obviously getting an opportunity now, but it's a little bit different when you're the face of the program.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll get another offer?
Yeah. I mean, I think that was a terrible, terrible situation. He's had to answer for it everywhere he goes. He's been asked about it at Auburn. I think there'll be a coordinator out there, a AD out there that'll say, with enough time, people will quit asking this question. He's answered it before. His answers are on the record. He'll answer it again. You got to be an AD that's pretty secure in his job because there's going to be some heat on it for a minute. But what did we just talk about? The news cycle moves so fast in sports that story moves on. And you just hope nothing else obviously happens under his watch, and then you have to go back and answer for it. But, yeah, I think he'll find another job somewhere. All right, when we come back, we're going to do 4 downs, and I'm also going to ask this question. Go ahead and let's populate this in the chat room. You folks in the chat room, give me your game, and I'll get Lance to pick one too. The Alabama football under-the-radar game that scares you the most as a Bama fan. All right, when I say under the radar, I'm obviously not talking about LSU or Georgia. Give me an under-the-radar game, some off-the-radar game. I'm not saying Bama loses it. Maybe it's like South Carolina last year. That was a close game, closer than you wanted it to be. Maybe it was like Vandy last year where, hey, you lose it. All right, give me Bama fans the under-the-radar game that has you worried the most. We will do that when we return. The show brought to you in part today by our friends Brad Bell. And you can see more, Brad, at AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That's the guy that redid the master bath in the Brown House. He can do the same for you. He's done great work for so many members of our audience, and he'll do it for you too. AlabamaBathRemodels.com. That is AlabamaBathRemodels.com. Or give Brad a call, 205-422-1758. 205-422-1758. I'm going to tell you what Brad specializes in. Master bath, kitchen, and master bedroom closets. That's his specialty. Not to say it's all he does, but he knows a couple things. He knows, number one, you're going to love those rooms when you live there. Number two, when you go to sell your home, you'll get some of your money back on those rooms. AlabamaBathRemodels.com. See a lot of before and afters there. Find all the contact information. Just get Brad to come out and look at your job and see what he can do. 205-422-1758 or AlabamaBathRemodels.com. The under-the-radar game for Bama that scares you. That is next.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Looking to expand your business? Let the Next Round help you. Contact us, sales@nextroundlive.com, and be part of the team. Advertise your product to hundreds of thousands of potential customers on our ever-expanding platforms. The Next Round can take your business to the next level. Join our existing partners in the fastest-growing media space, both live and on demand, while reaching the most desirable audience for your business. Get more information by emailing sales@nextroundlive.com, and one of our team members will work with you to build a plan to take your business to the next level using the Next Round.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation, 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you, 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and Bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a Bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between 2 warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and Bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
I mean, sometimes you ask a question thinking you know the answer you're going to get. I thought what most people would say here when I asked the question, under the radar game that scares Alabama fans
Well,
the
you know,
most.
we did our ding or our buzzer when we saw our first loss on the SEC schedule. So I'm going to try to be consistent and stick with that.
It's the one I assumed everyone, or not everyone. I thought it would be the biggest answer we get. So I asked the off-the-radar Alabama game that worries you the most. Tyler's showing you the Alabama schedule. For me, I would say it is at South Carolina. That's a very losable game for Alabama.
Yeah, I almost put it on our 5 upsets yesterday because I had it originally.
It was my last cut, Lance.
Yeah.
I was down to that one or Notre Dame, Arkansas, but I already had Arkansas, Texas. I'm like, I can't let Arkansas win both those. So I punted Notre Dame, Arkansas. And then my last cut was Alabama, South Carolina.
So can Arkansas beat Notre Dame, Texas, but Sam Pittman still loses his job?
I don't know. That'd be a hard thread to need.
I mean, they've got
a thread. I'm sorry.
Much like most SEC teams, really difficult schedule. But if they were going to go 6-6, but beat Texas and Notre Dame, two top 5 teams,
tough one. South Carolina falls at the end of a. This is an interesting stretch for Alabama. Once they get through those first 3, which Bama should be 3-0, you look at this 5-game stretch for Alabama. At Georgia. Host Vanderbilt, a team that beat you last year. At Missouri, a team you destroyed last year, but now you go on the road. Host Tennessee, a team that beat you last year. And at South Carolina, a team that had ball in hand with a chance to beat you last year.
You know what's so funny is 5 years ago, you would have looked at the schedule and you'd have been like, damn, at Florida State and Wisconsin.
I know.
And you would have been Vanderbilt, at Missouri, Tennessee, and at South Carolina are joke games.
You don't even bat an eye at those. You're like, boy, what a forgiving schedule. But South Carolina falls at the end of that's a fairly tough stretch, and it's right before a bye, which sometimes the game before a bye, you never know how teams play that. Alabama has had, under Saban at least, some moments he would talk about it, some flat moments going into a bye. It's a tricky spot for South Carolina, especially on the road, especially if it's a night game. That could be a difficult place to play.
Yeah. Do you assume that is going to be a night game?
It's either 2:30 or night. I mean,
Alabama, Tennessee will be 2:30 the week before, right?
I guess. I mean, I don't know what the rest of the primetime schedule looks like. I'd have to look at that.
Is that on the 18th? I think it is.
Yes, it is. October 18th. You look that up, and I'll just tell you this. Here you go. Charles, South Carolina. Hey, it's Rambo at South Carolina. Nicholas at South Carolina. Keith, South Carolina. I'll come back to some of these others. Don't worry if I skip yours. Josh, it's got to be South Carolina. Sam, 100% South Carolina. There's a couple that jump in here more than you would think, though, and I'm going to go back to those. Tony, South Carolina. Jeff, South Carolina. It's got to be South Carolina. So a lot of, and I only read some of them, a lot of South Carolinas in there. Another one that shows up a lot as you go back to Alabama's schedule is Oklahoma. Where it falls in the same place it did last year on the schedule.
Yeah, difference, though, being
actually
it doesn't.
It's one game earlier, but yeah, Bryant-Denny. LSU at home, Oklahoma at home. It's either going to be a 2:30 or a primetime game. Coming off LSU, if Oklahoma has improved with John Mateer,
yeah,
I could see that. Some people made a case, Lance, for Missouri. You've seen where that is.
I thought
right
about
there in that
that
stretch at Missouri. That's a guy. I think Alabama won that. I think 34-0 last year. But Brady Cook was hurt in that game, and he tried to go. Alabama got to him early.
It is actually one of Alabama's best performances.
There's no doubt. That was when Alabama's defense really turned the corner. And you're like, okay, this team.
Was that the timeout at the end?
Yep. You bring the starters back in to preserve the shutout. And that's where we talk a lot about that felt like kind of Alabama turned a corner defensively there.
Here are your games on the 18th in the SEC. Texas at Kentucky.
All right.
Ole Miss at Georgia.
That could be interesting. See what Ole Miss does.
Yeah. LSU at Vanderbilt.
Nope.
Oklahoma at South Carolina.
There's some storylines there, but I don't think it would trump Bama, Tennessee, or
Mississippi State at Florida.
Nope.
A&M at Arkansas. The interesting thing about that, finally on campus, right?
Yeah, I don't think that warrants prime time.
That's it.
You've got one of those. So what was the one you said that I said was interesting?
I think it's the Ole Miss, Georgia, or Oklahoma, South Carolina.
So Ole Miss, Georgia, or Alabama, Tennessee will be those will be your 2:30 in your prime time.
Last year, Ole Miss, Georgia was a 2:30,
and it was a fantastic game, by the way.
Tennessee, Alabama was 2:30.
Yeah. That I would say on that Saturday in Bryant-Denny, you will have it's either 2:30 or prime time, and I think the other one will be Georgia and Ole Miss. Give me the conference schedule the next week. What's the SEC schedule October 25th? So at South Carolina has been reserved as a 2:30 or a prime time for Alabama as well.
So Texas at Mississippi State.
Nope.
You mentioned Alabama at South Carolina. A&M at LSU.
If A&M's good, I could see that. All right.
Ole Miss at Oklahoma.
No.
Tennessee at Kentucky.
Nope.
Auburn at Arkansas.
Nope.
Missouri at Vanderbilt.
Nope.
And I think that is going to do it.
I don't see how you stay out of prime time.
Yeah.
Now, South Carolina, Lance, South Carolina's schedule leading up to Bama.
Boy, yeah, the SEC wants South Carolina to be good, don't they?
Well, yeah. That would be back-to-back. Alabama, Tennessee, Alabama, South Carolina would be two good games. But for South Carolina.
By the way, that get-in right now in Columbia, $242. That is a heavy get-in for a regular season game.
I think South Carolina probably is no worse than 4-3, but could be 5-2. So here's what they've got. You tell me. I'm going to read you 7 games. You tell me South Carolina's worst possible record in these 7 games. Okay. All right. Neutral site, Virginia Tech. South Carolina State at home. Vandy at home. At Missouri. Kentucky at home. At LSU. Oklahoma at home.
3-4.
Oof. Boy, if they're 3-4. Who are the 4? Oklahoma, LSU, Missouri, and who's the 4th? Kentucky or Virginia Tech or Vandy?
I would go Virginia Tech.
Oof, boy, if he loses that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But I think
4-3 is very much in play.
4-3 is very much in play, but there's a 5-2 in there as well.
And 5-2, then you beat Alabama, then you're right there in the playoff.
Oh, there's no doubt. But if they're 5-2, that's your Saturday night primetime game. Alabama is probably at worst a one-loss team to Georgia at that point, unless something terrible happens. And you got 5-2 South Carolina, losable game. Let's say they're 5-2. Let's say Alabama's undefeated. Let's go best case. 5-2 and Alabama's undefeated. Your point spread for that game in Columbia is what?
Alabama 6.
Alabama favored by 6. That's a great primetime game right there. Sign me right up for that one. All right, we're going to do 4 downs today. It's going to be presented by our friends at Walk-Ons. They are going to host on the Greystone location of Walk-Ons the 5th annual Next Round Kickoff Party. That is coming up on the 28th. That is the first Thursday night of college football. You'll be able to watch that Boise State, South Florida game right there at Walk-Ons. We'll pick up Nebraska, Cincinnati as well. We'll have a lot of great fun. It's presented by Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys. Alexander Shinara, the man himself, he's going to be there glad handing, taking photos with you, having a good time. We'll have great food. We'll all be there. It is the kickoff party at Walk-Ons. You can go by and enjoy Walk-Ons this weekend as well. Locations in Trussville, Highway 280 are right there in the Greystone area where our party will be. Also Stadium Trace and Hoover. Great place to enjoy some great food and great TVs at Walk-Ons. Go support our friends at Walk-Ons and make sure you mark it on your calendar. Set an alert for the 28th for our kickoff party. They bring you 4 downs today.
First down.
Which former Georgia quarterback's health is more concerning? Matthew Stafford or Carson Beck?
So give me the report on Carson Beck.
I haven't really heard anything.
Okay. Well, then why am I concerned?
Well,
what's the injury?
Yeah, it was, the last time we saw him out there. I haven't heard good or bad.
Yeah, okay.
I'm just saying, the last time we saw him on the field, he got his arm
I see what
ripped
you're
off.
saying. So, he left the game injured, and there's just been no reports.
I haven't seen him throw a football since.
It's got to be Stafford. It's got to be Stafford. Stafford threw last Saturday. I was reading this morning because I knew I'd bring it up on the show. Stafford threw 68 passes. Odd that they counted, and it's a strangely specific number of 68. 68 passes. Last Saturday, was supposed to practice again early in the week. and his body reacted so poorly to 68 passes they held him out of practice. He has not thrown since and will throw again tomorrow, and they're hopeful he will react better to that. You guys play the Chargers tomorrow. He's obviously not playing in that game, but he's going to throw again.
Yeah, I'm scared to death that you throw 67 passes and 2 days later you can't throw it all.
Can't throw again.
Yeah.
I mean, that is concerning, and it's a disc problem in his back. Like, I know it's different, but it's equally concerning. When that started happening to Tiger Woods, he had to have all those surgeries. I mean, he had 2 or 3 disc surgeries.
I mean, that's just one of those things. When you have a back issue, it just doesn't go away.
No, and it's not for Stafford, and it's a disc injury.
And at 37 years old, that's ancient for a quarterback.
Now, I don't think, Lance, that there is – I don't know this, but I don't think there's any concerns of, like, if he takes the wrong hit, it could be catastrophic, right?
Right.
Like paralyzation or something like that. I don't think that's on the table here. But I also don't know that it's off the table. And if that's on the table and you're Stafford, you got to think, am I going to go through that, right? So I'm far more concerned about Matt Stafford.
Second down.
I was going to save this for a day when Dunaway was here and it just organically came up. But so I'll bring it up again when he's here because I'd like his reaction too. I've heard you say in a public environment that Stetson Bennett would be the starter this year, and you actually think he'll be the starter of the future for the Rams.
I do.
And you're somewhat comfortable with that.
Look, I think if Stafford doesn't play against the Texans, I think it would be Garoppolo. I think more than likely it would be Garoppolo this year.
Yeah.
But I think the future, I think that they're really considering this.
You think Stetson Bennett is the future for...
I think there's a good chance he is the future quarterback for the Rams.
Wow.
I really do.
I
could be completely wrong here. He just looks night and day from where he was a couple of years ago.
I'm glad he got his life back in order.
Yep.
And everything seems to be headed in the right direction for him.
Ben Affleck, 53 today. Better career, Ben Affleck or Ben Roethlisberger?
Roethlisberger is a 2-time Super Bowl champion?
2-time Super Bowl champion. He will be a Hall of Famer. Top 15 quarterback of all time.
Yeah. Affleck's best performance for me, let me put it this way. My favorite movie that's an Affleck movie, I think, is Argo. I think that's my favorite Affleck movie.
And he directed it.
Yeah.
And he directed The Town.
I like
Gone,
The Town
Baby,
as
Gone.
well.
I think he's actually
The Town or Argo.
He's done better work behind the camera. Would you agree, Melton?
I agree. We were robbed of him being able to direct a Batman movie, which was the plan all along.
Right.
Why you bring him into the fold, but they just could never get it off the ground.
He's not known as a dynamic actor, though, right? I mean,
Nah.
People just think he's maybe a middle-of-the-road actor, probably a better director.
Yeah, he's known more for being in the tabloids than being on the screen.
Yeah.
Even,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, of the two friends, Damon is the better of the two actors.
Oh, yeah, he gets the rep for that. Yeah.
Yeah. But, Affleck has grown as an actor.
Yeah.
From the Good Will Hunting days, or even last night I was watching Dazed and Confused.
I think
the
he's
old paddle out.
smart.
Yeah.
He's really smart about the business. And if you sit down and listen to a long-form podcast of him just talking business, I mean, he knows his stuff for sure.
Yeah. And I just think behind the camera, I mean, some of those movies, and they're, for movie fans like us, they're mainstream, but there's a lot of people that haven't seen The Town or Gone Baby Gone or Argo.
Yeah.
And
Argo's
those
so
are
good.
just gems to me.
Yeah, Argo is just across the board so good.
Nothing to do with this. They're making Wind River 2. Did you hear this? Have you ever seen Wind River?
Yeah, I have. What are they going to do with the second one?
Well, so Renner and Elizabeth Olsen are out.
Is it going to be like a spin-off sort of thing, like what they do with True Detective?
They pick it up like 6 years later, and there's some kind of cold case.
I think
I'll watch.
Ben Affleck, my favorite Ben Affleck movie, I think, is Gone Girl. I think that he's really fantastic in that movie.
That was an underrated movie, too. I think there was some confusion because it was such a chick book, I think.
Yeah.
And so a lot of guys maybe didn't go see it. But I thought it was underrated.
Success.
Yeah.
Fincher behind it, directing it.
I think I'd go Affleck here.
He refused to wear a Yankees cap in that movie. By the way.
I appreciate
Remember
that. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Had to go with the Cardinals.
Yeah, and good for him, man. You ought to stand by your principles.
Third down.
I mean, I don't know what advertiser would have to ask me to wear a Bills hat here where I would say yes. There's a
probably
price. There's a price.
It's on the table now.
It's a hefty price.
Yeah. I wouldn't touch Saints or 49ers.
Yeah, but there's a price.
There's a price. Jennifer Lawrence, 35 years old today. Better career, Jennifer Lawrence or Jennifer Aniston?
Lawrence has played the more critically acclaimed roles.
Oh, yeah.
I think
For
this
sure.
is Aniston, and it's not even
Okay,
close.
Tyler is early on an Aniston call.
And I'm not even a friend.
Well, there's something iconic about Aniston. Like Jennifer Lawrence, her roles have been incredible. I mean, even like
they were, and then she fizzled out hard.
But early on, American Hustle and Silver Linings Playbook.
Very good, yeah.
And Winter, what is it, Winter Bone?
Yeah.
The Winter's Bone, I think.
Yeah,
it was.
Winter's Bone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you too. I love both those movies that you mentioned initially, Silver Linings Playbook and American Hustle. Twice this week, those two movies have come up.
And then
on the show.
obviously the Hunger Games stuff. I never
I
saw
any of that.
But that was a big deal. But Jennifer Aniston is like an American icon. I would think half the guys that get their hall pass or whatever, they always talk Jennifer
Yeah,
Aniston.
back in the day.
Friends money is crazy.
It's crazy, and I mean, she's still the morning show.
She's become a pretty good actress.
Yeah,
I mean, the morning show,
It's one of the more popular streaming shows out there, and at her age to get that type of role, I mean, I don't know that Jennifer Lawrence will get that.
No,
We're the Millers.
We're the Millers was great. That was top shelf Jennifer Aniston.
I think I'd probably go Aniston.
Yeah.
I like Lawrence's work in those movies I mentioned, but to Tyler's point, I can't tell you the last time I've seen her do anything.
She was in a movie that Jim really likes called No Hard Feelings.
Not a bad movie.
Oh yeah, good movie.
Yeah, pretty funny.
The whole premise is like for money, she's dating this this family's awkward son before he goes to college, so he has experience.
Oh wow.
Jim really likes it.
Okay. I mean, that's not normally a ringing endorsement on this show, but Melton jumped in too. So
Yeah, I'm defending him on this one.
you'll defend him
Yeah,
on
it
this.
was
All right.
4th down.
We always save the really difficult ones for 4th down.
Oh, yeah.
Napoleon would have been 256 years old today.
Old fart.
Napoleon or Nick Saban? I mean, Napoleon is considered one of the greatest military minds ever. I mean, they still study his tactics all over the place.
I think more people saw the Nick Saban documentary that just released in theaters than the Napoleon movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
I actually like the
Wow,
early
how about
battle
that?
scenes in Napoleon. I didn't think it was bad. Brown would hate it.
I think there's a 4-hour cut on Apple TV if you want to watch it.
You just solidified how
I
did it.
actually
4
would
hours.
watch that.
I thought you didn't like it.
No, I just said I thought it was better than most people thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you just said you only liked the battle scenes. I'm sorry.
No, I thought the battle scenes
Yeah.
were really good.
What got Napoleon?
Some sort of disease. He was exiled.
Yeah, he was
towards the end of
exiled.
his life.
Died on an island alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you knew what disease it was. I was going to try to find
I mean,
it.
it was probably. I mean,
He's got an extensive Wikipedia page.
I would guess an STD, gonorrhea, maybe.
I mean, that back then, that's a pretty easy guess, right?
I mean, Napoleon liked the women.
It's bigger than people think, I believe. I think
I thought he was 5'6".
Yeah, I think his size has gotten not overplayed, I guess underplayed. I don't know which way I'd go on that, but the fact that he's really, really short, people have overplayed that. Is what I'm trying to say. Because if you hear about the Napoleonic complex and things like that, you would think he was like 4'9" or something. He's not that short. I mean, he's a. I don't know what the average male size is. What was Ish telling us the other day? Is the average
5'9.5",
5'9.5". He's not really that much shorter than the average man. I was trying to see, did he finish on a loss like Nick Saban did?
Well, I mean, he got exiled.
Well,
so.
other than the exile, like his last battle.
Waterloo was his big defeat.
That was his big defeat. Now that was Nick. So his Waterloo was
That
the
was
kick
kick
six.
six,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was Saban's kick six.
Yep.
Is Napoleon's Waterloo.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I'm just trying to
I was
go.
able to find
but
some
the
information
kicks-
on his death.
Okay, what did he die of?
So it says that he most likely died of stomach cancer.
Oh, no.
But it's also possible that he got both gonorrhea and syphilis from his wife Josephine.
Ooh, wow.
I blamed it on the old
From
wife.
the old lady, huh?
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Jeez.
Napoleon was the dog out there running around, right?
Yeah.
I love that it could have been an STD or it could have been stomach cancer.
Yeah, we don't really know.
Could have been a bullet, could have been an axe.
Yeah. If this is right, the War of the Sixth Coalition was his final war before he was exiled. I need to know if he took the L there. Does anybody know?
Man, I do not have that in my catalog.
Yeah.
I am not sure. Again, I saw the movie, but
Oh,
I
here we
don't
go. I
recall.
got it. After a series of battles in March, the Allies forced Napoleon to retreat. Let's see. On March 29th, the coalition began their attack. Sorry, I'm reading this live.
Did you see the movie, Melton?
No, I passed on it.
Oh, wow. He got deposed. Yeah, so he took an L at the end. Because that's the thing about Saban. You'll always have to remember his last
Michigan.
game was a loss against
Yep.
Michigan. I mean, that's not the way Nick Saban should have gone out. I guess it's not the way Napoleon should have gone out.
Hard to go out with a win. Of course, Bear did, right?
He did. Bear did, but, it was in a much lesser game. He's
7-5 Illinois, maybe.
Liberty Bowl against Tony Eason in Illinois.
Yeah.
Off in the chat says Napoleon ain't played nobody, Paul.
Yeah, he didn't. Napoleon, I think Saban's strength of schedule was probably tougher.
Oh, probably, yeah. I mean, they were an Alabama-like power in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Napoleon exiled. Saban still has an office on campus.
Yeah, that's true. Melton makes a case.
I mean, I'm taking Saban
I
here.
think I'll go Nick Saban. Yeah. Better career than Napoleon.
I mean, well, how about this? When you're talking about military academies across the world,
right?
Will there be more former football coaches looking at what Saban did, or these military institutions?
Good question. His Napoleon's former battle is so outdated now. You don't use those tactics anymore.
You
don't use those tactics anymore. And at some point, Nick Saban's will be in football as well, I guess.
I've never played. Is it Risk?
Yeah, Risk. I was not a huge fan.
Would he have been good at Risk, Napoleon?
I
mean, I know Saban would have.
Yeah. That goes to that saying.
Good at everything.
Saban called his shot out too, though. Napoleon didn't. He got exiled, to Melton's point. So I think I'm going to go Nick Saban.
I bet Saban could have been a great military commander.
Oh, yeah. A lot of people say we wasted him on football.
Everybody talks about Belichick and Brady, but like Belichick and Saban for who's dominated football over the past 2 decades more. I mean, I feel like Saban now has won that argument too.
I would agree. Yeah.
And he's the most prolific football coach in either pro or college over the past 2 decades.
And we're also talking SEC to AFC East.
Yeah.
I mean, you reside there. You know what I'm talking about.
Maybe top of the coaching power rankings just overall, maybe in any sport.
Oh, yeah. I think
sport.
I think John Wooden is right there.
Over the past
Nick
2
Saban
decades.
is right there. People would put Vince Lombardi.
You're talking all time, but I mean, he's dominated since 2000. He's dominated that conversation. There's nobody even
Greg Popovich, Belichick, those guys would be in the mix. Who am I missing since 2000?
I mean, Phil Jackson, I think you would have to say that.
I mean, there's nobody in college basketball.
No, not in that window.
Yeah.
Dave says Napoleon never did a VRBO commercial either. Nick Saban has.
Hey, when are they going to bring those back? I haven't seen them.
They're very good commercials. I don't know. All right, that is 4 downs. I'm going to go Nick Saban. It's 4 downs.
I think it's a clean sweep.
I do too.
That was a pretty good 4 downs.
I like that one. Yeah. Locks coming up this weekend. Where you have some of the preseason tonight.
Both plays, both NFL Network games tonight. So jump on board, win with us at Lance'sLock.com. Free play up and available right now. Not only the 2 NFL preseason games, we've also got Major League Baseball action for you. Free play every single day. Great packages available at Lance'sLock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemphill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham's trust since 1954. Had them out at the X's house just a couple of days ago. They always do incredible work. 205-229-2090. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
This is the 100-year anniversary of the Associated Press All-American team. So what the AP did, they said, we'll take all 100 teams and we'll do our all-time Associated Press AP All-American team. Associated Press All-American team.
It's got to be littered with Nick Saban players.
More homework in the break. Somebody that has to be on this team in your mind. You cannot do a 100-year All-American team without this player. We'll see if you've got your players, and that is next.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Chenard Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Chenard.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The World Wide Web is a large place. Find all your favorite people and content in the same spot. NextRoundLive.com is full of wonderful tidbits about the show you know and love. Find our gear, listen to your favorite personalities, follow our socials, and enjoy your trip to NextRoundLive.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1, find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2, stream it now. Miss Hour 3, download it for later. Miss Hour 4, well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
One more hour to go in the week. Everything we do is on demand. You can catch it, and we appreciate all those of you who have fought through our Apple's issues. I don't know if it's our issues or Apple issues, just the issues on podcast. Tyler, I will give Tyler an immense amount of credit for a lot of things, including the fact he's really worked hard to get that fixed. Where are we on this, Tyler? On the whole podcast thing with Apple.
So it is a user-specific issue and not a larger issue with our distribution. So if you are still having issues, some people have had a lot of success with just unfollowing and refollowing the Next Round, and some people have had success with uninstalling the podcast app and then reinstalling. Basically, just turn it off and back on again, and if that doesn't work, call customer support. But that should work.
Yeah, reboot it. Or you guys are too young to remember this, but back when we used to have the box TVs, sometimes it would get wavy, and my dad would get me to go up and hit the side of it. You remember that?
That would work.
Fix it every time. Get everything lined back up. So that's the technical version of hit the side of the TV. It helps us a lot when you like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads. If you continue to have trouble with Apple, so sorry about that, but you can also get us on Spotify and Google Podcasts. So there are other options. And Tyler, they're not having the same issues on Spotify and Google, are they? I don't think so.
That is correct. Spotify, to my knowledge, has had no issues whatsoever. We also have the TuneIn app that works as sort of a 24-hour replay you can do. And I believe we're also on iHeartRadio.
That is true, yeah. So Tyler giving you a lot of options there. So please continue to fight through that. And we apologize that we're having to ask you to do that. It's a lot of it is out of our control, but we appreciate all the feedback. We know that we see them all, and we are hopefully going to be at the end of that issue at some point. But while you're at it, turn on those automatic downloads. We greatly appreciate that. All right, this hour presented by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com. champyschicken.com. Sterling and the crew have opened up the doors there at Champy's. They're ready to serve you a great lunch. And it includes those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales that I love so much, those great po' boys, the chicken fingers, great sides. Megan, on a Friday afternoon, got some great drinks for you there as well. Champy's Chicken, champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Some NFL news real quick. You remember perhaps, if you're an Alabama fan, that Isaiah Bond, the former Alabama and Texas wide receiver, went undrafted because of an outstanding case in terms of a sexual nature, right? There was an outstanding warrant. He answered the warrant. All the charges have been dropped. He has been cleared, but he went undrafted. The Browns have picked him up. The Browns who need
to a quarterback-rich environment, right?
Yeah, the Browns.
Yeah, I saw that earlier today that the Browns got him. Look, at least he's getting an opportunity, right?
I thought he was going to be a pretty good receiver in his time at Alabama. That's one. I tell you what, Dunaway called that early, and he was exactly right when he said his numbers at Texas will be no better than his numbers at Alabama. And Jim nailed that. I mean, Bond was just a kind of a middle-of-the-road receiver at Texas.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess Matthew Golden was their go-to last year.
I mean, I don't know if he's got a future in the NFL. I thought Bond would be better than that. By the way, speaking of the Browns, Quinshon Judkins, his charges will be dropped in a domestic assault case that was outstanding in Florida. He is with the Browns now. His name has been cleared. The daggone Browns can't stay out of the news. Speaking of the Browns, Shedeur Sanders has an oblique injury. It's not likely he'll get to start. He was supposed to take – so here's what happened yesterday in Browns camp. They come out, they do a little early work, and all the reporters are ready to see Sanders work with the ones because all the other quarterbacks are hurt. So Sanders was going to work with the ones. He disappears and never even shows up. So they're 7-on-7. Sanders isn't out there. So they're like, what the crap happened? Well, it turns out he's got an oblique injury, so he may not be able to play in the preseason game.
Yeah, and that's so unfortunate just based on the way he played last weekend because I do think there was an outside opportunity. Like if he played like that for the next couple of weeks, that just because it's so wide open, Kevin Stefanski might give him the first opportunity.
There is, I think it's pretty safe to say that Flacco is going to be on the roster. When you agree?
Yeah.
Past that, there's no way to predicting it.
Well, I do think that ultimately now Pickett and Huntley probably get cut, and I think they probably keep the
so they keep
rookies.
Gabriel and Sanders.
Yeah, which is dangerous just because of Flacco's age.
I mean, they just brought Huntley in for bodies, right?
You're right, yeah.
I mean, they don't have anybody that can play right now.
Yeah, and I don't look. I mean, there's no expectation with this Browns team this year.
No, very, very little. So that's your Browns. That's your NFL news, but it's all your Browns news. As Lance mentioned, 2 NFL games tonight. You'll have both those at Lance's Lock. Lance'sLock.com. Tennessee is at Atlanta, so we'll get to see Cam Ward again. And then Kansas City, by the way, an underdog on the road at Seattle. You don't see Kansas City an underdog a ton, but it's a preseason game. They are at Seattle. It'll be interesting to see how much Jalen Milroe, he was the third quarterback to play in the last game.
He will definitely play tonight by all accounts. Do you think we got anybody listening to us heading over right now to Mercedes to watch Titans and Falcons?
That big Titans-Falcons game? Perhaps. Yeah. I mean, maybe it's your only chance.
I mean, I used to multiple times. I went up to Tennessee to watch the Rams in preseason games.
I've never been to a Dolphins preseason game. Anytime they play in Atlanta like they do this year or at Tennessee like they did a couple of years ago, I go. But I've never been to a preseason game. You got to be next level fan to go to a preseason game.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Eric Crouch was playing for the Rams. When I went to a preseason game up in Tennessee. Playing receiver.
I was about to say, it's weird that that's the guy you would remember from that era. Not exactly a dynamic NFL player.
You have random people trying to make the roster, and I just remember him playing in one of those games I was up there watching.
All right, we are going to do the Shannara Spotlight. If you do not mind, Tim Melton, please hit that button.
The College Football Spotlight.
We do it every single day on the show, presented by Alexander Shannara, trial attorneys. Alexander has recovered more than $2 billion for his clients, maintaining core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, that is where you go. Shannara.com. Shannara.com. You pay nothing unless they win your case. They bring you the college football spotlight every single day. The Associated Press is celebrating 100 years of their All-American team. In light of that, they have put out their all-time All-American team. You have seen this, and I'm sure many of our audience has. I am curious, going into it, if you went into it blind, is there a name you would say you have to have this name on a first-team All-American team for the first 100 years of football?
I think that name would have probably, if I had to go with one, it would have been Deion Sanders.
You would say this Deion Sanders has to be on this team or you cannot do it.
Because, and by the way, this has nothing to do, nor should it, with the professional career.
No, I think in one case it did.
Okay, well, I can't wait to hear your view on that.
Okay.
Let me say this. The only thing for sure that I would not change is their quarterback and their entire secondary. They drilled the entire secondary.
All right, well, let's start there. Let's start with defense. Most of the time you start with offense. We'll start with defense. Let's start with the secondary. So this is your all-time All-American team. Lance says you have no argument with this secondary.
Oh, I don't think you can argue with it at all.
Your two corners are Charles Woodson and Deion Sanders, and your safeties are Ronnie Lott and Ed Reed. It is almost impossible to argue against that, and I don't know who completes a pass.
Yeah, I mean, nobody.
Not on that secondary.
For sure not the first-team quarterback.
I mean, that is
a little hint there.
Yeah, I know. Charles Woodson at Michigan was obviously a Heisman Trophy winner as a defensive back. Deion Sanders, the interesting thing, those are two of the best two-way players we've seen in college football. I don't remember Ronnie Lott as a USC Trojan. I only remember him
I don't either.
as an NFL player.
I mean, I've seen the footage, but based on Ronnie Lott, Ronnie Lott we know, and that you heard about at USC.
I do vividly remember Ed Reed as a Miami safety because those early 2000 Hurricane defenses was as good as it gets.
Yeah, look, there is one omission from linebacker that I think is interesting, but you can't argue with these three linebackers.
Your linebackers are Dick Butkus. They named the award after the guy. It's kind of hard to leave him off. Chris Spillman at Ohio State, and then Alabama's Derek Thomas, one of two Alabama players as first-teamers.
Yeah, again, Derek Thomas on the edge. I mean, what Butkus was for football, everything you watched, and this is old-school reference, the VHS crunch course.
Yeah.
I mean, Butkus
a bunch of hits that would be illegal
in the middle
today.
of all that. I remember people naming their dogs Butkus.
Yeah.
Just old school. Derek Thomas, again, what he did on the edge back before sacks were a thing. He was unstoppable. And then what it would come down to me is Chris Spillman or Brian Bosworth. I don't have a problem with Spillman being that guy, but
yeah, so that's the two you would narrow it down to. Yeah. The Bos, you could only do three.
I mean, Brian Bosworth was an incredible college linebacker.
Teddy Bruschi did not do enough at Arizona to get on your radar for that, you think? He wouldn't rise to that level? He was a tremendous linebacker.
I thought Bruschi played more defensive line in college, I think.
What about, Zach Thomas at Texas Tech didn't have a hit. That's
yeah.
I'm just trying to think from our lifetime, guys, that I would say, Ray Lewis was tremendous at Baltimore, but he didn't reach that level. He was really good at Miami, Ray Lewis was, but I don't know that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with especially Butkus, Thomas, and then Spillman was – if you just went pure tackles, I'll tell you, Luke Kuechly could have been a guy on here, too.
At Boston College?
Yep.
Your defensive front, your tackles are Ndamukong Suh, who was a Heisman finalist at Nebraska, and Bronco Nagurski in the 20s from Minnesota. Again, named the award after him, so it's hard to leave he and Butkus off.
I think he might have won a national championship.
At Minnesota? Maybe. Yeah, I think you're right about that. And then Randy White from Maryland in the 70s played the end, along with Hugh Green from Pittsburgh in the late 70s.
Another Heisman finalist.
Yeah, as a defensive end. Yeah. Think about that.
I remember cover of SI back in 1980. I remember Hugh Green being a tremendous player at Pittsburgh. I don't remember Randy White. Remember him with his Cowboy days. I still think Sue gets blown up because of one game specifically.
I agree. Didn't he have 4 sacks in one game?
The Big 12 championship game.
Yep. That was a big game. And he had 4 sacks, and he had a late Heisman push, but I'm kind of with you on that. Torrey Taylor is your punter from Iowa, 2023. Nothing screams Iowa football like having a punter.
Well, Ray Guy should be the guy, I kind of agree. Think. Again,
award named after him.
But Torrey Taylor, maybe just for the simple fact that he punted every possession in 2023.
Exactly. It was an Iowa punter, so he got a lot of work, and he had to be pretty good.
I don't know this for a fact. We probably talked about it on the show back in 2023. I would assume it's the most punts ever in a season.
Probably so. I mean, they were such an inept offense. And that was Little Ferentz running the offense at that time, right? Yeah. And they were such an inept offense. The offense in a moment. Speaking of the offense, we'll get to one that would not be inept. But first, Woodhouse Day Spa bringing you part of the show.
Look, hey, we are 8 days out from the first college football game of the season. You're going to be on the couch all season long on Saturdays and Sundays. Send the wife or girlfriend to the Woodhouse Day Spa. Give her the gift of relaxation. The Woodhouse Day Spa, located right there at the Summit Shopping Center. Stop in, see Stuart and the fine folks up there. Tell them the next round sent you. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including the body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services, massages. Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. You can order that special person gift online 24/7. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. That is birmingham.woodhousespas.com.
That was on me. I turned my mic off to clear my throat. Your urological health is obviously very, very important. It's something you want to stay on top of, and Urology Centers of Alabama is helping you do just that. 205-930-0920. That's 205-930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com to make an appointment or find a location near you. Everything from kidney stones to prostate to vasectomies, your entire urological health spectrum right there at Urology Centers of Alabama, UCA, UrologyCentersAlabama.com. All right, the Associated Press 100-year anniversary of their AP All-American team. Here is their first-team offense. Let's go across the front first. Your tackles, Big Orlando Pace from Ohio State, Bill Fralick from Pitt. I remember Fralick in the NFL. Don't remember him at Pitt. Boy, do I remember Orlando Pace at Ohio State. Man, he was a stud.
Yeah, don't have a problem with it.
What an offense, by the way. Eddie George running behind Orlando Pace. Was that any good?
Yeah.
they picked up a few yards. Your guards, Jim Parker, Ohio State. He's got an award named after him that Barrett Jones once won and had no idea he had won it. And John Hanna, the Alabama guard, who for a very long time, a lot of people said was the best offensive lineman in NFL history and was obviously very good at Alabama. I mean, it's hard to argue this one.
It is. I don't like an obvious omission, Anthony Munoz.
Yeah, from USC. Chuck Bednarik is your center. Again, got an award name. I feel like they had to start with all the major awards and we got to put these guys on here, right? Chuck Bednarik. If you don't know,
never would have known Chuck Bednarik played at Penn.
Yeah, nor would I. I've heard the award for years. It's 47-48, just after the Wars played at Penn. You've got an all-purpose player. He's a Heisman winner, Johnny Rodgers of Nebraska from 1972. Famously returned a kick against Oklahoma in what was then a game of the century, Nebraska-Oklahoma. Honestly, don't know a ton more that he did, except that he was really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, who are other guys? I mean, was Devin Hester that good at Miami?
Probably no. I mean,
Deion was a great punt returner and kick returner.
Desmond Howard. I mean, you could make an argument for him.
David Palmer.
But I mean, I think
you got to be a first-team All-American. Yeah. I don't think David Palmer ever was.
I don't think so. And Johnny Rodgers won a Heisman, so it's kind of hard to go against him.
Yeah.
Your receivers, and I'm just going to say, I feel like this is where an NFL career might have helped a guy. Larry Fitzgerald, Pitt, 2003.
I believe in 2003, Larry Fitzgerald should have won the Heisman. I think it was over Jason White.
Yep. I don't have a problem with him being here. But Randy Moss, who had a tremendous collegiate career at Marshall, I think his Hall of Fame NFL career helped him a little bit here.
Yeah, I think I would have gone personally, as good as Moss was, and he was great at Marshall, I would have gone Fitzgerald and Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith had the greatest one single season I've ever seen.
And won Heisman as a receiver, which does not happen much. I just think with Moss, the fact that he played at Marshall, now there were extenuating circumstances. It's not like Marshall found a diamond in the rough with him. Marshall was gifted him because of his time at Florida State.
Right.
So there were extenuating circumstances, and I think he was obviously tremendous as a Marshall receiver. I don't mean to discount that, but I think you mean a guy that played at Marshall went on to be that good in the NFL helps Randy Moss a little bit.
Is there any chance a current receiver, an active college receiver, could end up being on this team one day?
I mean, most people would start with
Jeremiah
Smith or Ryan Williams.
Yeah. I don't see it. I think both are going to be great.
I don't see it, yeah.
But, boy, Larry Fitzgerald and Randy Moss, great. It's next level.
Yeah. Your running backs, good luck on this one. There have been so many good college running backs.
You can't argue it, but there is an obvious omission here.
Well, they go Herschel Walker and Barry Sanders.
Where's Bo Jackson?
I was going to say Bo Jackson would probably be the starting spot of the conversation for a lot of people.
I think you've got to go Herschel Walker.
You'd go Bo in front of Barry Sanders?
I would go Bo in front of Barry Sanders.
So do you think Barry Sanders' professional career helped this? Because he was on some super average Oklahoma State teams, but he was really good on those teams.
I mean, he won a Heisman on an 8-win team.
Yeah, on an 8-win team.
Which will never happen again.
No, Oklahoma State was terrible back then. I mean, this goes back to a conversation we've had about Mike Gundy on the show, about how good Gundy has been. Kind of makes you forget how bad Oklahoma State used to be. Who was that? Oh, it was Dvorak that said that yesterday.
I think I would go Herschel and Bo. I do.
Wow. Played at the same time at Georgia and at Auburn. But I don't disagree with you. Herschel and Bo would be my play. Quarterback, I think it's
Derrick Henry would have been in play too.
Well,
right?
Derrick Henry had one great year, and then he was in a really good running back group. Not that Bo Jackson wasn't, but he was in a really good running back group, which kind of took some carries away from him. If he had 2 years like he had the last year he played under Lane Kiffin, he might be considered the best that's ever done it. Tim Tebow's your quarterback, and I just don't know any other way you go here because this is all about a career.
Yeah, I mean, one season, I think you go Joe Burrow and Cam Newton.
Right.
But when you're talking about multiple seasons, and even, starting back when he was just, getting limited reps and, the backup quarterback to Chris Leak, but he came in, he had certain packages. They won a national championship in 2006. He won multiple national championships. He won a Heisman. I mean, he was really unstoppable at the position. So this is, to me, do you agree? He should be the guy.
Yeah, I don't know where else you go. Like, you could go, Tommy Frazier.
Or Charlie Ward.
Different era. Frazier playing in a different offense. Like, his stats aren't going to look like Tim Tebow's because he was running the triple option, but holy cow, was he incredible at that. I mean, man, that guy could run a triple option. You could go, I don't think any of those Miami quarterbacks, as good as Miami was at quarterback, none of those rise to this level.
Nope.
They all had good single seasons. I don't think anybody had that type of career. The same thing jumped out at you and I in this, is that 2 Alabama players made the first team, none from the Saban era, which is pretty crazy to think
You didn't
about.
mention the best tight end of all time.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did miss that Brock Bowers is the tight end. I apologize to the Bowers family. The one guy I did not mention, and I don't have a problem with
Best
this.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, I got no problem.
I thought Jeremy Shockey was really good.
He was.
But I would go Brock Bowers.
Yeah, Brock Bowers, I'm fine with that. So the Georgia tight end. So there's 2 Alabama players, Derek Thomas and John Hanna. No Bama players on the first team from the Saban era is a bit of a surprise.
It is.
As good as they were.
But, I mentioned the 2 guys that would jump out to me would have been Derrick Henry, but I wouldn't put him over Sanders or Walker. Devontae Smith, I think I would put him over Randy Moss.
Devontae Smith was second team, to be fair. Okay. So your 2 second teamers, we've mentioned them both. Devontae Smith.
I haven't seen the second team.
Okay, Devontae Smith and Desmond Howard were your second team. Do you think Desmond Howard's one of the top 4 receivers of the last 10 years?
I don't know.
Won the Heisman.
Don't know.
Desmond Howard and Devontae Smith. I'll try to jump through some of these. Tim Brown was your all-purpose player, second team. You did mention Brian Bosworth. He was second team linebacker, along with a guy named Lawrence Taylor, by the way, that played at North Carolina.
Did you see who the second team quarterback was?
Second
guy
team
we didn't even mention.
I know. Vince Young. Again, I don't really have a problem with that. Your running backs on the second team, Archie Griffin and Tony Dorsett. I did not see either one of those play. I do know Archie Griffin. I'm not playing on the collegiate level. I do know Archie Griffin won back-to-back Heismans.
What did Ray Guy do to these people?
Because he's not even your second-team punter. I was going to bring that up, too.
Was he not an All-American at Southern Miss?
That's perhaps is the case. You had to be an All-American, a first team, but I don't know how he wasn't. Former Miami Dolphin Reggie Roby, the Iowa punter. Iowa has the punter on the first and second team.
That's not where you want to be.
Isn't that crazy?
I think that's their only players, too.
Yeah, I do, too. They only had punters.
I need this first versus second team simulated on Madden.
Oh, how fun would that be? That'd be a heck of a game, wouldn't it? Vince Young versus Tim Tebow?
Yeah, Tim Brown, all-purpose second team. He was.
Yeah. No, Tim Brown was something else. He was amazing. All right, so that is the Associated Press, 100 years of football. They are celebrating, and that's their 100-year team. Hey, if you're looking for a bank that knows you and is small enough to know you, but big enough to meet all your needs, Central State Bank is your answer. A bank that truly gets you. They've got 6 locations across Shelby County. They've got 1 in Alexander City. Central State Bank offers products and services designed to meet a wide range of individual and commercial needs because no two needs are the same. With more than 100 years of service, Central State Bank is proud to be large enough to serve you, small enough to know you. They are rooted in the community. They are driven by relationships. That's Central State Bank, member FDIC. If you want to look at that, the Associated Press has sent that out, and you can also find it. I found it at cbssports.com. I wanted to ask you real quick. I mentioned this to Fuhrman. Just get your thoughts real quick. It was one of the gambling guys on social media was making a case for 5 team totals. I mentioned Cal and Wake. I don't imagine you have a strong stance on those.
Yeah.
Notre Dame under 10.5. He said Notre Dame under 10.5. Great play.
You know what's interesting about Notre Dame is taking a look at their schedule. On the surface, it looks really difficult, but they have the second best odds to go undefeated.
Well, you know, they start with Miami, and you brought something up. The health of Carson Beck. He has not played a game since he left injured against Georgia. They're going to be breaking in a new starter, but so is Miami, and you assume Carson Beck is close to 100%.
I think C.J. Carr is going to be the guy for Notre Dame.
Right.
I didn't realize this. You know that's the grandson of Lloyd Carr?
I think I did see that, yeah. I did see that.
But, I mean, you've got so many coin flip games at Miami, A&M, at Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC, at Pitt.
Like everybody else, Miami's schedule is determined on who you think is going to be good, how you think they're going to do. But if Miami is what some people think, if A&M is what some people think, and if Taylor Green and Arkansas are that kind of fly in the ointment type team, I mean, you could have 3 losses early.
Yeah, I do agree with the under 10.5. I would play that.
You play that? Mm-hmm. Georgia over 9.5.
Let's look at it.
I mean, this is a team that is number 5 in the rankings.
Boy, you don't see a lot of 9-3s for Kirby Smart.
You really do not.
I mean, you just got to tell me they beat Alabama. They beat Alabama. They coast over.
There's your bet right there.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, they really do.
Well,
they're going to be favored in that game. So, yeah, I think I'd play the over.
Okay.
I mean, I think Georgia's a playoff team, and I think to comfortably be a playoff team, you've got to have 10 wins.
And
so,
then,
yeah, I wouldn't feel great about Georgia, but I would play the over.
And his other play was Auburn under 7.5. And, my gosh, I feel like we've talked about this all summer. If it's under 7.5, obviously that is some extremely bad news for Hugh Freeze.
Well, much like what I said about September for Georgia in the Alabama game, tell me what happens in Waco.
That would determine the 7.5 for you.
Well, I mean, you open 3-0 if you get that win. And then you've got what should be wins at home against Missouri, Mercer, Vanderbilt, on the road in Kentucky. That gets you to 7 right there.
Yeah.
And then you got to find one outside of that.
Find one outside of that, and that gets you to the half.
I would play the over, I think, here. I wouldn't feel good about it.
Yeah. He said those are the 5 best total plays on the board at CBSSports.com. Auburn under 7.5. Georgia over 9.5. Notre Dame under 10.5. Wake over 4.5. And Cal under 5.5.
Yeah, I think for Auburn, I think the floor is 6 and the ceiling's 9.
Yeah.
And nothing 6, 7, 8, 9, none of those would shock me.
Surprises you, yeah. All right, Champies bringing you this hour of the show, ChampiesChicken.com. Sterling and the crew, Megan on the bar, slinging those drinks. They've got the joint open for you right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. They'll be open all weekend. Stop by on your way if you're going to see some high school football over the next couple of weeks or off to one of the college campuses. Hit Champies' world-famous fried chicken, ChampiesChicken.com, ChampiesChicken.com. We do trash when we return on the next round.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Have you been injured in an 18-wheeler accident, company truck accident, car accident, or work-related accident? Call Alabama's largest personal injury firm. Alexander Shinara Trial Attorneys will fight for every dollar you deserve, and it won't cost you a dime. Trust me. What do you say, man?
Call me, Alabama.
Call 659-777-7777 or go to Shinara.com.
No representation made that the legal services provided are better than legal services provided by other attorneys.
Man, I love a good meal.
I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Excitement awaits at Barber Motorsports Park for the UAB Medicine GT World Alabama Benefiting Teal Wings of Hope, September 5th through 7th. Witness some of the most iconic sports cars like Lamborghini, McLaren, and Ferrari battle it out on the track. Enjoy the beer gardens, food trucks, kids zone, garage, and more. The UAB Medicine GT World Alabama. Kids 15 and under get in free. Get your tickets today.
It's bow time. Tired of choosing between sweet and savory? Why not have both? Introducing Bojangles' new chicken and bowberry waffles. The bold Cajun chicken filet you love, now drizzled with a bowberry honey glaze and sandwiched between two warm waffles. Which means your favorite meal of the day just met your new favorite dish. And lucky for you, it's served all day. But it's only here for a limited time, so try chicken and bowberry waffles at Bojangles today. It's bow time.
Trash is coming up. I saw this morning, and Rivals has a graphic that might make people's head explode, maybe even yours, Lance. This kid named Isaiah Williams, and he's a very highly touted defensive player. He's Under Armour All-American.
Already a multimillionaire.
He flipped his commitment today, I read, on social media from Ole Miss to Florida State. Don't really care, to be honest with you. But then I saw this graphic that went with it. So here's his timeline. November of 2023, he committed to Louisville. The next January, he decommitted. That April, he committed to Syracuse. That August, he decommitted. September of 2024, he committed to Florida State. Then he decommitted November 2024. March 2025, he committed to Florida. That May, he flipped to Ole Miss. And then today, flipped back to Florida State.
You know, this kid, once he gets married, is going to have such a problem deciding where to go to dinner.
I know.
I mean, it's one of the biggest fights amongst couples. This guy is so indecisive. I know the answer now. I was going to ask before you showed me this graphic.
Right.
Do you think guys get a little bit of cash to flip their commitment?
100%.
But this guy's going to kill that.
6 commitments, 2 to the same team, but 6 total commitments this kid has had so far, and it's not over yet.
You know what? He is not as committed.
He does not sign until December, presumably, and there could be another flip. I saw people talking about flipped Ole Miss to Florida State. I'm like, again, doesn't really register me. I don't care about Ole Miss recruiting or Florida State recruiting. But then I saw that graphic from Rivals, and I'm like, holy crap, if that doesn't tell you where we are in the recruiting game now. That kid has been everywhere.
Man, that's got to be exhausting, not only for the kid, but for the coaches working the kid.
The coaches working the kid. I'll give the Florida State coaches credit. They didn't give up. They've got him back for now. But man,
I mean, do you think all of those coaches are still working him?
Well, I mean, without taking a shot at the kid, I think there's probably a way you get him to flip, right? When you think there's a way you get him to flip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why is that even worth it to you?
I don't know. At this point, I mean, you either pay him to sign with you on signing day or you leave it alone. Like, the flip is going to mean nothing.
Yeah, you just want to be last, but I guess you got to stay in contact to be last.
Yeah. Josh said he would have had a tough time picking a movie at Blockbuster back in the day. That was, man, you were
I always went straight to the new releases.
Yeah, and then none of them were there.
Yep.
Like, you would look behind the thing to see if there was a thing there.
Oh, I've been in Blockbuster for hours before.
Yeah, and then you would go back to the desk. It's like, hey, did anybody just bring a Back to the Future back? No. Okay. What about Faces of Death? No, you don't have your parents with you. You can't watch Faces of Death. Do you even know what Faces of Death is, Milton?
I do. Do you know what Jurassic Park is, Brian?
Oh, shut up. Sorry. Bowling and bragging is where you'll be tomorrow, Lance. Bowling and bragging.
Yeah, hey, mark the calendar. The first college tailgate party of the season is tomorrow night from 6 to 8:30 right there in Crestline Village near the O'Neill Library in Mountain Brook. This annual event benefits Critical Care Transport Team at Children's of Alabama. There will be games and activities for the kids. There's going to be live music from Rockstar. There will be food out there, great tailgates. And again, it's for an incredible cause, the Critical Care Transport Team at Children's of Alabama. For more information, visit Bowling and Bragging. That's with an N, bowlingandbragging.org.
There are fantasy drafts going on right now for the NFL. Any league I had ever been in, you set the draft order by order of finish from the year before. I guess if you add new people.
We always, I mean, this is different. It's not a fantasy draft, but there's 8 of us, and we just tear off the little paper 1 through 8.
Draw?
That's it. Yeah.
Do you have to draw where you, like, if you didn't want the first pick, if I draw 1, can I trade that, or can I say, I want to pick 4th or whatever?
Oh, no, if somebody wants to trade with you.
Yeah, okay.
Like the NFL, nobody ever wants to trade with whoever gets number 1.
That's right.
College, a little bit different.
Do you like picking 1, or do you like picking in the middle?
I think it is better to... Like this year, I would rather pick in the middle on both.
Because the way you play it, obviously, in an 8-team league, you get pick 1 and 16, right?
Yeah, you just don't, in my opinion, hopefully none of these guys are listening, but they know this. Like, I don't want 1 in the NFL because I don't want the Saints at 16. Like, that is an albatross. If you have a 3-win team, you are not winning.
Oh, so you're picking teams. I'm talking about like a...
Yeah, I'm talking about teams.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that's kind of our fantasy, the way we do it.
Yeah, you would
But
not.
I think there's other fantasy drafts, like... the traditional fantasy that probably draft like that too, or at least choose the order of draft based on that. This we came across today as one of the more insane ways they've ever done it.
I've seen unique ways of finding who drafts in what order. Tyler has video from Fantasy Football Today showing a group of guys that had to run a 40-yard dash to determine their draft order. And to say it didn't go well is an understatement. I think we counted potentially 3 pulled hamstrings in this video. The first guy, I think, tweaked one. That guy right there looked like he got shot by a rifle. I don't know what I could run the 40 in. Last one kills me.
I think I got 1.
Yeah.
Or maybe this guy.
Yeah. He's grabbing something as he goes past. That guy right there, I mean, again, he looks like
he's limping all week at work.
Yeah, he looked like he got shot by I mean, imagine that. I pick last, and I got a pulled hamstring. I mean, I'll give him points for creativity, having to run the 40 to determine the draft status.
Yeah.
That last guy limping through is terrible. I haven't played fantasy football in a long time. I got asked to do it, and I'm like, oh, no. I was doing an interview with our friend Mike Grace Bart Heitch, and they asked me about fantasy football. I was like, guys, I haven't done fantasy football forever. I don't really like it. Now, I'll tell you what I like even less. When you tell me what you need on Monday Night Football to win your game, I do not care.
Yeah.
I do not care what you need on Monday Night Football to win your game.
I've only got defense left, but I
don't
only
care.
need 4 points.
Okay, I got Joe Burrow tonight. He can't throw an interception. Don't care. Don't care. I really don't. Don't care what you got on Monday Night Football to win your fantasy game. Don't care.
Do you realize you're this close
to being an old man? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, to a perfect fall Saturday that starts and ends with college football. I mean, do you realize you're this close?
I am that close, Melton.
To another, and then you got NFL happening the next day.
I know. I love
up.
NFL.
I mean, so much football filling up your weekends here. You're about to be back into your zone.
I know, but I don't care what your fantasy football team
Right, I know.
I'm going to watch all those games.
I can only imagine being a fly on the wall in your man cave.
It is so fun. Like, I can't tell you how much I enjoy. It is
And you're like me. Like, the majority of the day, I'm by myself.
Oh, yeah. I'm down there in the dark, cold basement a lot.
Yeah, and I used
My
to.
wife will occasionally check on me, just make sure I'm still fogging a mirror.
I used to love having a lot of people over, and now I kind of lean just doing it solo.
I tell you, I used to come to some of your a lot of people over, and there's a lot going on, and sometimes it overshadows the games.
Yep, I get that.
Yeah. And I think some people for the late night show back in the past saw that too. There was a lot going on there.
Yeah.
I'm like you. I kind of like being very small crowd or by myself. I don't want to have to talk to a lot of people. I think 4 is my maximum. If I sell 4 tickets or 3 tickets, me plus 3 tickets, it's enough for me.
Yeah.
What's your max amount of games you can have going at once now?
3 on TVs, but here's what I found, because occasionally I'll have one on an iPad or something like that. So if Alabama or Auburn are playing some crap opponent, like a Mercer or something like that, I'll have it on the iPad on the side just in case somebody gets hurt or something like that. Barely paying attention to it. I'm not going to waste a TV on Alabama Mercer or Auburn Alabama State. I'm not going to waste a TV on that. So I'll have that like on an iPad. But what I have found is 3's the maximum I can pay attention to.
Got it.
Like, I've been to Lance's when he's got 5 on it. I'm like, I don't even know where to look. What is going on?
I've got, at times, I will have 12 on now.
Oh, my
because
gosh.
of the split screens?
Yeah. But again, I'm just sampling because, there's some days I'll give out 13 to 15 plays. And, it's not like I'm really focused. Now, I play my own red zone because, then I can select where I want to jump to.
Rod says, my screened-in deck by myself, heaven for watching games. I bet, man. When the weather gets good, little outside game watching, there is nothing wrong with that.
Grilling going on.
Heck yeah.
A little bourbon.
Steven says, don't interrupt and talk to me while I am watching a game. I'm a little bit that way with the Dolphins, but not college football Saturdays. College football Saturdays, I'm fine. I'm just enjoying it on the college football Saturdays. Ballfan 205, I'm a solo guy for Tennessee games. Big game that doesn't overlap with Tennessee. I don't mind being around people. That's interesting. So your team you want to watch all by yourself.
Yeah, that's why I am with the Rams.
Yeah.
Well, I will not watch the Rams with anybody.
Yeah. I've watched the Rams with you. That's a favor to others, I think.
Well, that was
a big game.
That was a terrible situation that ended up working out for the Rams.
It was.
Because they ended up winning the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
But they lost home field by losing that final game.
Yeah, to San Francisco, you can never beat, right?
And we let them in the playoffs.
I know. Even worse. Royal Payne, I hate watching Bama games with anyone anymore. I like to zone in.
What I hate is watching Bama or Auburn games with said Bama or Auburn fan.
Yeah.
Because they're like me with the Rams.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's a little over the top.
It's terrible. Yeah, it's awful.
All right, it's time for Trash. It's going to be presented today in part by our friends at Hemp Hill Services.
205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. They are awaiting your call. If you experience any plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Bud Light brings us trash. Hit the button there, Tim Milton.
Sandra, how far has this family come?
We came from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Such a good
Every
moment.
time. We start first with Mr. Beast.
Don't know how I feel about this guy. His chocolate is pretty good, though, I'll go and tell you.
Well, he looks like he's got his hands in everything. The business enterprise of Jimmy Donaldson, better known as YouTuber Mr. Beast, has been sued for trademark infringement and unfair competition by Spalding parent company Russell Brands over the sale of basketballs and footballs bearing the mark of the Beast.
The mark of the Beast. That's not what you want.
Hey, going back to it, I'm telling you, I saw the argument.
I had never thought of Mr. Beast being the Antichrist until you just said the phrase, the mark of the Beast.
Well, there's a
never thought
YouTube
of that.
video that breaks it down pretty good. Now, in a complaint filed on Tuesday in a Kentucky federal district court, Russell stresses that the U.S. Patent and Trademarks Office registered their mark for the Beast for the sale of basketballs, including Spalding's The Beast basketball equipment, basketball accessories, and other items. Russell underscores that its marks are, quote, valuable intellectual property. It also asserts it invested a substantial amount of time, money, and effort to promote goods bearing the Beast mark and to gain widespread popularity and renown among the applicable consuming public.
Do you know if this is the Alabama Russell Brands? Is that the one?
No, this is not. Well, I don't know. Maybe. I guess it is. I don't know who else it would be.
Yeah.
Now, in addition, Russell says its Spalding division is the largest basketball equipment supplier in the world.
I didn't know if Russell owned Spalding, though. I don't think they do. Could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that.
I mean, does Spalding do anything but basketballs?
They used to be in the golf world. I don't think they are anymore. They used to build...
Tyler yelled volleyballs.
Volleyballs, okay.
Okay.
They're big on the balls. A lot of balls they got there.
How about this headline? F-15 ride-along passenger accidentally ejects while still on the ground.
Guys, that's bad news. Oh, we have video? I don't see him. Is he going to pop out here? Oh, no, there he is. Oh, that's pretty bad.
Okay. At first glance, I would say this guy was just terrified to go up and just pulled his own chute.
I guess so. That's a bad time to do it, though.
But I would rather eject on the ground than go up in that thing.
Yeah.
But I would throw up all over the place.
Yeah, you'd vomit everywhere.
Now, a backseat passenger in the F-15 Eagle belonging to the 104th Fighter Wing appears to have accidentally ejected from the aircraft while it was on the ground at the Barnes Air National Guard Base in Westfield, Massachusetts. Updated video posted that we see right there on social media shows the aftermath of the incident. Puff of smoke is seen wafting from the backseat of the F-15 as it's still taxiing. The canopy having been blown off. During the ejection sequence is lying on the Eagle's left wing. Passenger appears to be crawling next to the runway near what looks to be a parachute as the F-15 continues to roll by.
Crawling.
Now, the incident remains under investigation, and more information, including information compiled by the applicable investigation boards, will be released as it becomes available. It looks like no injuries, though.
I'm out! Sir, we were taxiing to the road. I know.
It didn't work out for Goose, did it?
No, it did not. Goose couldn't crawl.
I can only imagine this is something that would happen to Jim if he was sent on assignment by a television station.
He'd accidentally hit it. Yeah.
Right along.
Yeah.
What's this button do?
Yeah. Do I press this?
I am surprised we still have these porch pirates out there.
Well, I mean,
with all the Ring doorbells, right?
Yeah. Well, this guy does it.
Is he related to Scotty?
I don't know. Too many R's for Scott. He's only got the one R.
So a man with an extensive criminal history is back in jail after admitting to police that he stole a package off a home porch because a friend dared him to do it, according to police.
I mean,
is this Flea when he gets really old? David Forster right here, 51 years old. That is a hard-ass 51 right there.
That guy has lived some life at 51 now.
He was taken into custody after officer noticed him biking along, recognized him from surveillance video of a recent theft in a neighborhood. When confronted, Forster admitted to stealing the package, which ended up being an $89 metal cat litter box. Now, the box was still unopened, told investigators he didn't know what was inside the stolen package. Police Chief Steve Parker says that people need to use more common sense with friends. Quote, David Forster will likely return to prison. All he stole was $89 cat toilet on a dare. At some point, Mr. Forster should choose his friends more wisely and exhibit a little bit more common sense, neither of which were evident in this incident. By the way, for the record, 39 felony arrests for this guy, 26 misdemeanor arrests. How in the hell are you arrested 65 times?
Didn't we used to have a 3 strikes and you're out policy? I mean, this guy, he's batted around the order. I don't understand. Yeah, I'm with you. How's he free? I mean, this guy has proven he doesn't want to be a functional part of society, a contributing part of society.
I'm more concerned about the fact that the litter box was $89.
That is hefty.
Is that the going rate?
That's hefty for a litter box, for something your cat's going to piss and poop in.
Must be a premium litter box.
It's metal. It's metal, yeah. Lottery winners often have elaborate spending plans, but for Joseph Greer, he's the blue-collar type with a pretty achievable and unique dream, and it involves buying better bologna.
That is good-looking bologna.
Well, I would
Smoked,
attack
obviously.
that sandwich. Pickles, onions.
Too much
on it.
onion. Yeah, get rid of that onion. I'm all in.
Now, Greer, who lives in Boone, has spent the past 40 years working as an appliance repairman, and he says winning $100,000 means he can now afford better lunch meat, according to the North Carolina Education Lottery. Quote, I'm tired of eating thin bologna, Greer said in an August 12th news release. I want the thick bologna now. He also intends to put aside some money for his eventual retirement. Big win came playing the $8 million moneymaker scratch-off game, but not in the traditional way. Greer's $50 ticket was initially a loser, but he was among 979,465 entries in a, quote, second chance drawing option that allows players another shot at winning. The extra effort paid off. He went on to say, I was about passed out, was pretty crazy. Picked up the prize at the lottery headquarters. It came in at $71,750 after federal and state taxes.
Smoked bologna's really good.
Yeah, I like thinner cut, actually.
Yeah, there's a place near here that does a bologna smoked bologna sandwich, and it's way too big.
Way too big. I agree. There's a place around here that I'll never eat at again that's got really good thin sliced bologna.
Sorry you had to write them off.
Yeah.
That's trash, presented by Bud Light.
Well, people
Easy
might
drink.
find out more about that.
Easy to enjoy.
Yeah.
I forgot. It is good, though.
It is very good.
It's easy to drink, easy to enjoy. That is Bud Light. I got something to tell you about that, by the way. Well, it's not a big deal. Tell you after the show.
I'm sure people love our inside secrets.
I know. Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys bringing you part of the show. Our guy, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, headquartered in Birmingham, a national firm, 24 years. They have grown to more than 150 lawyers, supported by more than 500 dedicated team members, and recovered more than $2 billion, maintaining Alexander's core values of integrity, mastery, passion, and success. They handle everything, not just personal injury claims, but claims for fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, disability, workers' compensation, and a host of other claims. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, Alexander Shannara Trial Attorneys, you pay nothing unless they win your case. The NFL tonight, I mentioned two exhibition games and then a full slate of exhibition games coming up Saturday. So if you want to wet your hook in a little football, you can do that on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, and then a Monday night game this week on ESPN, Cincinnati at Washington.
Hey, if you're going to be watching them, you might as well wager on them. Ask John Mateer about it. Lanceslock.com.
Ultra sports betting at lanceslock.com. But you got a full slate. You get some of the city games, like the Giants and the Jets play, the Chargers and the Rams play. So for whatever that's worth, those sometimes can be pretty good crowd games. I don't know if the games themselves will be any good. If you want TV tomorrow, Cleveland at Philadelphia is the early NFL Network game, followed by San Francisco at Vegas. The Jets and the Giants game is at 6 o'clock, and then Arizona at Denver is your late game if you want some TV games there. We're going to end the show with our Bojangles Tender Moment, our Bo Tender Moment of the day, presented by our friends at Bojangles. Great idea when it comes time for those college football or high school tailgates or parties at your house is Bojangles. And from sweet to heat, they got 7 sauces that will definitely add a little extra flavor to every bite. Nothing pairs better than those hand-breaded tenders. Go by and get some for lunch today. If you want sweet honey mustard, you want some tang, try barbecue. You want some heat, creamy buffalo or peach honey pepper. If you're craving smooth and creamy house-made ranch, jalapeno ranch, or classic Bo sauce, ready and waiting, head to Bojangles. Get those hand-breaded tenders with your favorite sauce today. It's Bo time. Our Bo Tender Moment is the departure of one of the good guys, our buddy Tim Melton. Today is his final day with us, but he is not disappearing. You will see more of Tim Melton, both on the Meltdown, and don't forget, Thompson football is kicking off. You'll be part of that.
Absolutely, yeah. Thompson High School kicking off their football season on Thursday night this upcoming week. Looking forward to another season on the Warrior Nation Network. And once again, want to thank everybody in the chat. Everybody's been so kind, not only with the Meltdown chat and everything, but with the TNR chat. And you guys are great. Really appreciate it. And I really appreciate you guys and the opportunity here. You guys elevate everybody you work with. And I've done a little bit of everything in my career to this point, and I'm looking forward to doing a little bit more of everything in my career. And I appreciate you guys helping and getting me to a point where I can have sort of an independent entity with the Meltdown and hopefully do even more entertainment content. So
That's
you
right.
guys have been great.
Well, and you know, we go way back. This kind of dates me. I spoke at your college class at UAB way back in the day. But not only can you still find you in entertainment, but I think there's a way that we probably will connect again down the road.
Oh,
possibly.
I wouldn't shut that door and slam it shut. Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that little tease. They're asking in the chat, the Meltdown is not dead. Meltdown 247.
Yeah.
A bit of a hiatus. Would you call it a hiatus?
Definitely a hiatus.
Definitely a hiatus.
But for how long?
I don't know. We got to figure some stuff out, but I would say that make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already.
100% set your
for all the
alerts.
information there, but it's very rare when you have a partnership like this that can lead to this type of opportunity where we can both sort of absolutely take the most of the time we had together and then continue to possibly collaborate down the road. So it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of things I can't announce right now that I'm very excited about.
Yeah. Meltdown 247 is the YouTube channel.
Yes.
Same things we ask you to do for us. Go subscribe to it and set your alerts. So when Tim does that, and Tim knows he'll have to remind us a couple of times, but when he's ready to drop show one, we'll let you know right here on the show. Tim will probably be in the chat. We'll let you know on the show so that you can go get Meltdown content. This is not something where Tim's going to disappear. We're never going to mention him again. You know we don't operate that way.
Yeah.
Has it been 2 full years?
It's been 2 full years, August.
Because I remember when you were first creeping around here in 2023, we weren't allowed to talk about you.
That's correct. Yeah. Had a little bit of time there where it was a 6-month delay in being able to chat about it. But I remember one time the camera caught me moving a refrigerator in. And
I remember that.
What is Tim doing back there? He was making it a dorm or whatever, and it became the Meltdown Studio. So I appreciate you guys.
I don't know what we're
going to
do with that now because it's got so much unique character
and so much history.
Yeah,
definitely. And once again, one person I haven't shouted out yet that I've got to before I go is Tyler, because there's been times where we have just looked at each other and, we didn't know if there was anything left to give on those afternoon shows, and we both were there for each other, and I really appreciate Tyler. Lionel Johns. I call him Lionel. Don't know why. Don't ask me why.
Yeah, I don't know where that started. I heard you and EG.
I made up a fake middle name for him, and it just stuck, and everybody started calling him Lionel. And
Lionel? I've never heard that.
It's not his real, actual, legal given middle name, but who knows what it is. It's always Lionel to me, so I appreciate
remember
Tyler.
on Lionel James, though.
Yeah, little tree.
Yeah.
Tyler, anything you want to say? Tyler did a goodbye on the Monday Meltdown. Go watch the Monday Meltdown.
Great.
So.
It was great.
Tyler, you could say something. You don't have to. It's your call there.
It was great running the Meltdown with you, going to see every movie that came out, leaving work early a couple times to go see a movie. We did that with Alien. All the lunches we went together. It was just a great time. I'm going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you too, Tyler.
Let me know if you need any help with your new venture.
Definitely.
All right. Well, all the best to you, Melton. You're a good dude. We look forward. Who does Thompson get in week 1? Carver. Okay. What's the point spread?
Thompson is a 27.5 point.
That sounds right. Yeah. I don't know the official, but that sounds right.
We're going to go 27.5 in that one.
It's going to be a nice.
I think I would lay it. How old's that quarterback now for Thompson?
So, once again, played as an 8th grader.
Yep.
He's now going into his junior year. So, he's played for 3 years already going into his junior year. 2 state championships, 3 state championship appearances. Trent Seaborn, if you get a chance on a
quarterback
Friday night,
in the state?
That would be my vote.
Yeah.
Come watch a game of his. Great saxophone player, too.
All the best to you, Melton. You're a good dude. And Meltdown 247 is where you get all his content moving forward. All right. That's going to do it for another week. It'll be a game week when we come back. Dunaway will be back with us on Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Thank you for joining us on the next round. Make sure to like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and set those automatic downloads on the audio side. That helps us a ton. Have a great weekend. We'll see you at 9 o'clock Monday morning on the next round.